Yo, we are back. It is the Goodfellas podcast. It's your boy Dougie. I got A Will and Five with me. Fellas, how y'all feeling, man?
Yo, what's good, man? What's up? We back.
Back. A Will, scrolling through. Scrolling through.
Yeah.
Alright. So, man, let's get it popping, man. We had first take. I know we talked about Melo last week. He requested a one-on-one with Stephen A. Smith on first take. Man, a lot went there. I hated to see somebody of his caliber have to come and defend himself like that. What did y'all? Excuse me. What did y'all take away from from the Melo interview? I want y'all thoughts.
I'm gonna let Fag go first.
I thought a lot. Excuse me. I think a lot of it was warranted. I mean, a lot of speculations, a lot of stories, a lot of just negative energy towards Melo was starting to come at him from all different directions. You know, players, GMs, coaches, and you know sometimes you just gotta go out there and you gotta clear the air. You know, it's probably better for him to do it than to let someone like his trainer do it. I mean, his trainer tried to do it a little bit for him before he went on first take. But I just think for him, I think it was just a breath of fresh air. I mean, not only is his basketball life been affected, but also his personal life has been affected just by a lot of media coverage, a lot of storylines. So I just think it's good for him to kind of go out, give his side of the story. And I think a lot of his story adds up. I mean, a lot of it did. I mean, he talks about Chicago. He was coming to Chicago. Here's rumors that so-and-so is leaving. And if anybody doesn't know who he was talking about, he definitely was talking about Tibbs. And Tibbs got the boot. 2 years? 2 years after that?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the rumors that he was hearing were true. I mean, and I had also heard some of those rumors too, just from some former Bulls personnel that Tibbs was already on the what's called the hot seat. I hate to see it. And just like you just said, I hate to see a person of Carmelo Anthony's caliber, a guy who's been a star in this league for a long time. He's top 25 all time in scoring. I don't think people really understand how hard it is to be top 25 in scoring all time in the NBA. I can name 75 great players that have played in the NBA, and he's top 25 all time scoring. So, and everybody's gonna say, "Oh, well, he just scores." Well, that's the name of the game. That's the name of the game, right? You know, it's the sport of basketball. I mean, there's a lot of guys who weren't great defenders who were great players in this league. Carmelo Anthony is one of them. So, I mean, I liked that he came forward and was vocal. He never really has been too vocal in his career, really, in terms of dealing with negative attention. But, I mean, to me, I thought it was good. I thought it was a good look for him. I don't know if it's going to result in him coming back into the league, but I think for him and his sake and his peace of mind that it is going to be good for him.
My first thoughts was it was a little too late. But as he was talking, it made sense why he waited. He wanted to be at peace with himself potentially never playing basketball again. And I think if he would have talked about it last year after everything went down in Houston, he would have been too emotional about it. He would have probably been pointing the finger, not able to reason and say, the right things. Like, he would have still been able to tell the truth, but it might have sounded a little bitter. With this, he was able to just speak his truth. He was able to give us, good insight as far as what was going on. Like, in Houston, Melo was legit on the 10-day and didn't know it. Like, for him to only play 10 games and then he travels to San Antonio and finds out the night before the game, his services were no longer needed. And he was actually going to talk to the owner and see, what he could do to help the team, because for years they had been saying they needed a guy like Melo. Melo was the guy. Melo would help carry them, take them over the top, as he was saying. And he finally got the opportunity to go there, or he finally decided to go there, and he only had 10 games. Like, he had a 10-day. The other thing that I got from it was that something is completely working against him. Like, it's super political why Melo is not in the game. Like, he pissed somebody off along the way. I don't know who it was. The Chauncey comment didn't help. I don't know if maybe George Karl has talked to some coaches or some GMs in the NBA and kind of, badmouth Melo.
Wrote a book.
Yeah, but I think it would be more. I think it's still more going on. Like that book, like I was saying last week, like as a GM, you have to be able to call that guy in and sit down and have a conversation. And he even said that, like, nobody had ever talked to him about coming off the bench. Like when he went to OKC, they never had a conversation with him about coming off the bench. When he got to Houston, he said
they didn't say nothing about it either.
They didn't say anything about it. So again, like we all just expect, like as these players get older, they're just going to accept coming off of the bench, right? And I was even having a conversation with some people, and they were saying like, Wade came off the bench in Cleveland, but it took for Wade to start and realize like, hey, I need to come off the bench. Like he had to go through that and kind of humble himself. He had to had a conversation with himself to realize, hey, I need to come off the bench. And Wade went to the coach and said, nah, I'm going to come off the bench. Yeah. Right? So I just feel like it's something political. I'm with Melo. It's super political as to why he's not in the league. Because there's no way you can tell me Carmelo is not better than 10 players on the New York Knicks roster, the Atlanta Hawks roster, the Sacramento Kings roster. Those are just some that come off the top.
I mean, Vince Carter just got picked up by Atlanta for his last year. Carmelo Anthony is.
Yeah, but that's for mentorship. See, that's it. So that's the thing with Carmelo. It's going to be hard for him to get on the team because teams don't see him as being that mentor. They don't see him as being that type of teach-only type guy. Like, he still wants to play.
But he still can play. But I'm like Melo even said, like, I give back to the game. When they asked him about his legacy, he was like, my legacy will forever live on because I'm currently still giving back to the game.
Yeah,
like, he's
absolutely.
working with the young players. Like, we seen video of him in the gym with Cole Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Cole Anthony ain't even in the league, and he's helping him develop his game. So Melo can be a mentor, but Melo can also still effectively get you buckets. Now, the question becomes, is Melo comfortable with playing 20 minutes a game? Is Melo comfortable with only taking maybe 15 shots a game, right? 12 shots a game. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what his number would be, but because if he got it going, he might get more, right? But if you say like, okay, we're gonna start you at 10 shots, and depending on how you're going, your minutes might go up, your shot attempts might go up. Like, he might accept that. But again, like he was saying, have the conversation with him. Like, let him decide. Like, let him show you. Let's have that discussion. I don't know. And then, like, it was just interesting also, like, how he was talking about his immaturity, right? And how, when he talked about the Chauncey comments, he was like, I was 18, 19 years old, and all I ever knew was get buckets, right? Like, if I wasn't scoring, I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. So when Chauncey made that comment, it was completely, like, it wasn't out of context, but Chauncey didn't give the full context of what his answer was, right? Melo was a young kid. He's 19. All he ever was told was, if you ain't scoring the basketball, you ain't doing what we need you to do. If you don't lead the team in scoring, you're not doing what we need you to do. So that was his mentality. He even touched on how, him, Bron, and Wade had always talked about playing together. And, it was like in the pre-stages before he signed his extension in Denver, right? And so he never thought it would come true. Like, he never thought it was real. And he was still, he's one of those players that felt like he wanted to beat the best. Like, he didn't take that conversation serious, is what he said. And then, like his deal in New York, he said he wanted to win in New York. He wanted to do what everybody is afraid to do. Go to New York and attempt to win. And so I can't be mad at him for those things. Like, yeah, we're gonna look at the amount of money he took. We're gonna look at the fact that he didn't go to Chicago. Now we're gonna say, oh, he had the ability to go to Miami, right? Like, we're gonna hold that against him. But at the end of the day, he was willing and able to take the challenge that a lot of players won't take. And that's go to New York and try to win a championship.
But I hate the fact that it's a lose-lose situation, right?
Absolutely.
Right? We slander LeBron, we slandered Kevin Durant for joining these super teams and winning, but then we also down the legacy of another guy who decides to stay on a bad team, because they weren't. Well, I shouldn't say they were bad. They were good, but they weren't meant over the hump good. He stays on that team, trust the management to go ahead and bring some more guys in, and we call him a loser. We literally call him a loser, like, because he stayed on a team and wanted to big his city up and represent for his city, and we call him a loser.
Yeah.
I will say, he wanted to stay in New York. Get you, right? Hometown, he wants to bring it home. But the worst thing that happened to him in New York was Phil Jackson. And to your point, why he's not, is something political, I think it has something to do with when Phil was there. Like, Phil's got a lot of say-so. He's got a lot of rank in the league.
Yeah.
I think it was something during those New York years when Phil was there, and he was throwing Melo under the bus with a bunch of stuff. And Melo never downed Phil. He never downed the team in the public. But I think it was something behind the scenes that's like keeping him from, that's been said. Because, I mean, there's no reason, like you said, why Carmelo Anthony shouldn't be on an NBA roster right now.
But I'm gonna go there, but I'm gonna echo what Five said, right? Like, Melo is, again, even with that, he's in a lose-lose situation, right? Like, just look at LeBron. Every team LeBron goes on, it's always, he's the coach, he's the GM. He's running the team. He's doing this, he's doing that, right? Like, they don't need a coach. The coach is just a mascot or whatever. He's a cheerleader. Like, he's just there for everybody else. Like, Bron this, Bron that. And Bron never addresses that. Like, never says anything about it, right? Yet, Melo went to New York, played in New York, probably got criticized by the GM of the team for the years that they were together, and Melo never says anything, and yet Melo is not in the league, like you said, probably due to that. Like, what was he supposed to do? Melo never dogged Phil. He never asked to be traded. He never asked out. He never, he showed up professionally every day, ready to play, no matter what was said. He smiled, he grinned and bared it, right? But it's like, now it's hurting him in the back end. Like, again, he's in a lose-lose situation.
And another thing with the New York situation, let's not forget, he had some of the worst luck you could probably possibly ever have in going to a team with high expectations. Amari Stoudemire was already there. He was young.
And then he got hurt.
And he couldn't stay healthy.
I got one good thing out of it.
I mean,
Linsanity. Then he couldn't stay healthy.
I mean, but that's what I'm talking about. Like we talking about him playing with Linsanity.
Shumpert was hurt. Shumpert was hurt in New York a lot.
I mean, the best team had Steve Novak, J.R. Smith,
6-man,
Iman Shumpert, Carmelo Anthony,
Amari Stoudemire.
Amari.
I don't think Amari was on
Yeah, Amari wasn't on. If he was on that team, he was hurt. He didn't play that year. They were really good. He didn't play.
I got 6-man. Nah, I wasn't.
And then they had one year where they had all the old vets. They had Tyson Chandler, Jason Kidd, Kenyon Martin. Like, I mean, he never got the chance to play with the team that he thought he was going to play with when he first went there. It was supposed to be him and Amari, the future of the team. And let's not forget that they were really good before Amari got hurt. And he couldn't stay healthy after that. But yeah, he just had some of the worst luck. Like, and Amari was young. Like, people forget that. Amari was like 26, 27. Like, Carmelo was 26, 27. Like, these guys were supposed to be in the prime of their careers together, winning champs. And then they brought Chauncey over too.
Yeah.
And then he got hurt.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, they never got a chance to really fulfill themselves. And let's not just put a lot of the onus on the player. I hate when we do that. Let's put some of the onus on the GM too, right? because the GM's not bringing in the right guys to put around them to win and to get them over the hump. When you know you're gonna play against the Miamis, I mean, you know you're gonna play against the San Antonios,
The
even if you get there, the Bostons, like these teams, these were the premier teams in the NBA this time. And then all you got for me is Steve Novak, J.R. Smith, and Iman Shumpert.
I think he put put blind faith into the organization.
But he said that.
He said
No,
that.
I'm not.
He said that when he signed the deal.
Yeah, blind faith because it was his hometown.
And I'm putting faith in one of the best coaches in NBA history.
Yeah.
Like I think he knows talent. I think he's gonna know how to put talent around. And then, and I told y'all this when the interview went on, Phil couldn't keep a damn coach. Like
But see, Phil couldn't keep a coach because he wanted the coach to run the triangle.
But that's the thing.
Like Phil wanted the team to be what he wanted the team to be. He wanted the team to be the Bulls in the '90s. He wanted Melo to be like the Mike, and he wanted to put the pieces around them, and he wanted them to run that triangle. Phil still wanted to coach, but he didn't want to go through the rigors of being a coach. Like that is probably the biggest downfall for that New York Melo era that a lot of people won't talk about.
But also, they couldn't get the coach that they wanted. They wanted Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr said, "No, I'm not running that. I don't want to run that. I mean, I run a little bit of it, but I'm not 100% running that." They couldn't get Luke Walton. Luke Walton said he wasn't running it. And then now you got to settle for Derek Fisher, who's never coached in the NBA, never been an assistant, never been a head coach, never been none of that. And then now you put him in a position to be a head coach of the biggest market team in the league. And I mean, you just bound and drown. I mean, you really are. They didn't put him in the situation that he needed to be in.
Jesus.
And he was a winner in Denver.
So
let's not forget that.
Let me ask y'all this: does he get picked up?
Nah.
30, what is he, 35?
Yeah.
24, 35, does he get picked up?
I say if he does, it'll be the middle of the season.
If Iguodala doesn't get waived, or if he gets traded somewhere else other than LA, yes.
Does it happen before
Training camp?
No. Does it happen before the trade deadline?
Christmas. I'll say around Christmas time.
Melo gets picked up or Iguodala gets traded?
One or the other. Either Iguodala will get waived and will be a Laker and you won't have any Melo, or he'll get moved to another team and they'll move Carmelo into the slot. I think that's their plan. The only team I can see him playing for is the Lakers.
100%. When they asked him about LeBron, he said, I'm 1,000% yes.
I mean, I still say that he's still the best fit in Portland, though. Like, Portland needs to look into getting Carmelo Anthony.
Portland don't got the money, man.
I mean, he don't need the money. He's gonna be dirt cheap. He's gonna be dirt cheap. Like,
I don't want to see it. That because if they went to the Western Conference Finals last year.
Yeah.
They get bounced in the first round and get bounced in the second round. Guess who's gonna get? Guess whose fault it's gonna be?
but I'm okay with that though.
I know, no, we're gonna be here again saying the same thing.
But I'm okay with that though. Like, first of all, they only got to the Western Conference Finals because of matchups. So
I mean, but
I think we all agree with
get that. But to the naked eye, you're gonna see Portland was in the Western.
To the blind eye, not the naked eye. The blind eye. Like,
in the Western Conference Finals, then they get Melo, and then they can't get out of the first or the second.
yeah, because they'll end up probably playing like the Lakers or the Clippers in the first round. Yeah, that's gonna be the reason they'll get bounced out the first round, not because of Carmelo Anthony. Like, let's put that.
We hear you, but they ain't gonna say that.
That narrative is already
not gonna say it because you got a lot of blind eyes out here. We got more blind eyes than people with two eyes.
And I don't know if they would know how to use them though. I don't know if they know how to use them.
They're ISO team. I mean, how are the way you gonna use them? They got Aminu.
OKC was an ISO team.
But he was the fourth option.
And he was the fourth option.
So
why was he the fourth option? What trend?
Billy D was their coach.
But the thing was though, like, we never knew Paul George was that ISO of a guy. Like, because he in Indiana, they weren't like that. Like, they shared the ball. Everybody got equal amount of shots. I mean, Paul George shot the ball probably the most out of everybody.
That last year he was there. He's a little bit more ISO.
I mean, They were bad
injury.
too. They were
No,
bad
after
too.
the injury. He was more ISO.
I mean, they were bad too. They were bad that year.
Yeah, they took
After the injury.
No, I'm saying Cleveland swept them that year. Never mind.
Yeah, first round.
Yeah, first round.
They were 8 seed. They barely made the playoffs.
Yeah.
They were bad that year.
ISO.
They were bad.
Yeah.
I mean, any team that's bad, I mean, your best guy is gonna be super ISO.
But yeah, I mean, he was
It's the only way you're gonna score.
why he was a fourth option, I'll never know.
Billy Donovan was.
But
That's bullshit too. Like, come on now. Like, we all know Steven Adams gets shots off of other guys. Like, it's not like they just dumping the ball down to Steven Adams. Like,
the man said it was.
I'm gonna take the man at his word.
Yeah, I'm gonna take him at it. He did.
I'm gonna take him at that too. But it's a lot of bull. You know, and by fourth option, I think he means like just being involved in the actual
That's
play.
horrible.
Like, I mean, Steven Adams in a pick and roll system, like, is gonna be involved in more plays.
You would rather have a Paul George, Steven Adams pick and roll, or Paul George, Carmelo Anthony pick and roll?
I mean, what difference does Paul George and Carmelo Anthony pick and roll do? Are people just gonna switch it? I mean,
You gotta.
they gonna have the same length defender
Yeah,
on.
you gotta pick your poison. Shit, you gotta pick your poison, right?
So if he the fourth option on that team, they get Nerd back.
He might be the fifth option.
Yeah.
It might. Well, it won't be the fifth. He'll be the fourth again. He'll be the fourth again. But they need wing scoring. Like that's been their downfall every fucking year. Their wings can't give them anything. Harkless wasn't giving them anything when it mattered. Aminu wasn't giving them anything when it mattered. They need a guy who they can rely on besides CJ and Dame. Like, they really do. Like, I mean, they just do. They got unlucky with the Nurk injury last year, but they weren't beating Golden State anyway. Golden State owns them. They've been owning them, and that's just how it's been.
So
Whatever.
Speaking of Golden State, Draymond signed that extension, 4 years, $100 million. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Give Draymond a shout out, man. Only because I like when players do this, man. Like I said it when LeBron left Cleveland and went to LA. If a player is going to stay and their free agent year is coming up, they know they're gonna stay. Knock it out the way and don't have that be a distraction for yourself, for the organization, and for your teammates. Okay? We see what happened with KD. Waited all year. Oh, we're gonna worry about it later. You know why he's worrying about it later? He's now wearing a Brooklyn Nets jersey. Same thing with LeBron. We're gonna worry about it later. We're gonna focus on that when that comes. You know why? Because he wasn't staying. Kawhi. We're gonna focus on it when it's, he wasn't. They leave. They leave. The same thing happened when KD, when he signed that extension in OKC. He signed it low key as hell.
Mm-hmm.
His free agency was about to come up. He signed that extension. You know why?
Westbrook too.
Westbrook, they wanted to stay.
I get that, but I think Draymond probably did this because I don't think he felt he would be eligible for the Supermax.
I mean, he signed for way less money though.
No, that's what I get that. What I'm just saying, could he have went into this year banking on getting the Supermax? Like, he essentially has to either be the first, second, and third team All NBA, and he has to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Not and, but he had to be one or the other.
And-
Because he won Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago.
But you going into the season banking on that to sign big money, or you just gonna take it and
I
be?
mean, Kemba did.
That
Didn't
was-
pay off though for him. He didn't sign it though. But the thing is, like, Draymond, like, I don't think people understand this. Like, that's not his market. $25 million a year is not his market. Like, Draymond could have waited to the summer and got 30 plus mil from somebody. Like, somebody would pay that for Draymond Green.
Just to break up the Warriors.
$25 million is I mean, $25 million is a discount.
It
Like,
is.
They're getting him in a discount. Like, you said it. They save more money.
They
Like,
save
that was
money.
the first thing you said when
Yeah.
when the news broke. You was like, man, they just save more money.
They save money.
They just save more money. So I mean, hell, D'Angelo will get more money than him.
Yes, he is.
Russ will get more money than him. So I mean, kudos to Draymond. I mean, that's also a win for Clutch Sports. I will say this, like, because they have been behind a lot of drama, behind a lot of deals, and GMs are starting to not only catch on to them, but also get tired of them too at the same time. They held a lot of people captive. They doing this, they doing that. That deal kind of just cut and dry, gets it out the way, and they now can be that type of agency that can operate like that, and they don't necessarily have to hold teams hostage.
Mhm. So we're gonna keep it pushing. Still gonna keep it NBA. Talk about this briefly, man. LeBron. We've actively seen him at Bronny's AAU games. He's in the warm-up lines. He's putting on a dunk show, a dunk contest. And it was a play where he was so excited. It wasn't even for Bronny. It was for one of his teammates.
Mm-hmm.
And his shoe ended up on the floor. And one of the players had to give him his shoe, and he was dancing off the court. A lot of people been giving him flack about, he's doing too much. He needs to, take a back seat. You sound like idiots, number one. You sound like straight idiots. How do y'all feel about that? I mean, you got a dude that's supporting his kid and supporting everybody really that's on that team. Not even just Bronny, right? He's rooting for everybody.
But he's not just rooting for Bronny and Bronny's team. Like he's active in all of the games that he sees. He's talking you've seen other players that are not on Bronny's team come out and say thank you for your support, thank you for your motivation, thank you for your knowledge, things of that nature. So he's not just trying to steal the spotlight from his son or trying to only be there for his son in that aspect. But I'm happy to see Bron being that dad, right? Because dads always catch flack for not being present. And if you telling me him being over present is an issue, continue to be over present.
Right.
Continue, right? Because we don't say nothing to the AAU moms or the football moms or the baseball moms or the track moms, none of that. That's screaming and hollering and cussing and fussing, for their kids in the stands and doing all that.
The coaches do.
That was a bar.
I mean, yeah, the coaches do, but
Talk to some coaches out there. They'll tell you.
But why do the coaches do it? Because they feel like the moms don't know nothing.
Well, the parents, period. The parents, period. You can talk to some travel teams, some AU teams, some baseball team coaches. They'll tell you the worst part about coaching is not the kids.
It's the parents. Yeah, but every parent wants their kid to play. Every parent is traveling to see their kid. And a lot of parents can't accept the fact that their kid just ain't good enough. That's a harsh reality that, every kid and every parent think they're the next big thing. And the hardest thing to realize is that you might be the best in your area, but once you step outside your area, it might be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 other players better than you. So you might not even be the best in your state, let alone the best in the country. And as a coach having to deal with that, nah. But man, like I said, Bron is over present, continue to be over present. Let's have more dads like that. Let Wade be like that. Let Melo be like that. Let Chris Paul be like that. Let every NBA guy that got a kid, be like that.
It's coming.
Yeah, let them be like that.
D-Wade and Zaire and Bronny about to be playing high school ball together, so Wade is gonna be at the game.
Wade do be at the game.
No, I'm not saying it's gonna be.
But I'm just saying, be over present like Bron. But Bron even said something when somebody said what's Bronny gonna be like in high school, and he even came back at that he's gonna be a player that does exactly what his team needs, and he's gonna be ready when his number is called and all that. He wants people to understand allow my son to be my son, to be himself. He doesn't have to be me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna support him whether he make it or not. I'm gonna still be there.
He literally told one of the kids, I hope when you get to the league, I hope I'm still there.
Yeah.
Can you imagine playing AAU ball and you got one of the best players of all time, giving you, motivation, giving you feedback, rooting you on, cheering you on, even as the opposing team.
Yeah.
Oh, we going against Bronny today? I'm finna give him 30. Yeah, bro. Go ahead.
The criticism is uncalled for. Don't get me wrong. There should be nobody talking about he's still in the spotlight. He's doing too much. That's what the kids want to see. The kids want to see LeBron in the dunk line. The layup line,
yep.
dunk in. They want to see they want to see it in person. Because you don't get it sometimes. Even when you're at the game, sometimes everybody can't get a front row seat.
Right.
At the layup line before the game started and see LeBron dunking. Sometimes you're all in the 300 section, sometimes in 200 level section. So for the kids, it's a special moment. It's a great moment for them. But
Here you go.
but
Sip slow.
the running on the court that needs to stop. That needs to stop. Like that needs to stop. If that was any other parent, in the gym, they would have got kicked out. Like seriously, no bullshit. If that was any other parent in the gym, if it was the kid's dad who dunked it and he ran on the court, they would kick him out.
We'll kick LeBron out.
They'd kick him out. But that's what I'm saying though. Like he didn't get kicked out because of who he is. You can't kick LeBron James out your AAU tournament. Especially not the Las Vegas 50. Like it's the biggest AAU tournament of the summer. Like
would you kick Jordan out of a gym?
But I don't think Jordan would do that. That's what I'm trying to say. Like you can be a dad. You can support your kid. You can be front rowing your kid. You can jump up in your seat, dunks, all that type of stuff. But you can't run on the court though, because that'll start a trend. So now, because other dads have egos too. They might not be LeBron James, but their kid might be
Just as good.
as Bronny.
No, not better.
Top 5, top 10 in the state. They kid do something. Yep, they kid do number 1 in the country. They kid do something special. They run on that court. Guess what that dad going? To the car. We'll see. We'll see
you at the end
We'll
of the
see you
game.
next year. We'll see you next year.
Oh, he going the whole year?
Yeah, no, they kick him out the whole AAU tournament. Like he wouldn't be able to come back. Like say you get kicked out in pool play. Like the pool play starts Thursday, Friday sometimes. Yeah. And that happens Friday, and now he can't come back and see the tournament for Saturday and Sunday. That was the only issue I had. The run on the court, that's a little excessive. I get it. Don't get me wrong. Come on now. Like I didn't see some dunks and I done ran out the gym. You know what I'm saying? I come down the bleachers, I run out the gym. But
you ain't never ran on the court?
Nah.
I feel you.
Not in the middle of the game, so the game's still going on too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't create those type of habits because other people will think they can do it.
I get you.
That was the only thing I had about it.
I respect that.
The oop was hard, to be honest.
It
The
was.
oop was hard. Even I was like, ooh, I almost,
You ran down the steps?
I dropped my phone a little bit, you know.
But maybe you got to do a better job of tying his shoes.
No, he just
ran
saying he
on
don't need to run on the
No, I'm saying,
he
but
ran
I
to
mean,
the 3-point line. He ran to the 3-point line.
Did you see him skipping though?
He ran to the 3-point line. Then tried to run back and then forgot his shoe. Then had to come back and get it.
Yeah,
Like you can't do that. Like one of the other team would have outlet it real quick and been on the court, and then they had to stop the game because of that. And then one of them has to decide and play the game.
Yeah.
One of it's a 2-point game.
I will say this. To your point, running on the court, I agree. It's a little.
If it was a game winner, I could see that. But no.
How can I put this? If he was white, if LeBron was white, we wouldn't be talking about any of this.
Well, first of all, white people don't react like that.
No, but I'm saying like let's imagine what I'm saying is let's imagine Tom Brady rooting his son on in football.
Oh no!
Hold on. Let me talk to some of my white boopers out there.
I'm staying out of this.
If you've ever been to a 90% white only open gym and somebody dunks, it's gonna be still quiet. Still gonna be quiet. The dunk, he can be the air up there, do a 720, middle open gym. And they're gonna inbound the ball
and set that back screen.
Yeah, and run the swing off. And run the swing. Like white people. So don't even talk about white people. White people not reacting like that.
But I'm just saying though, if Tom Brady was hyped at his son's high school game or something like that, it would be he's showing so much.
You gotta use something. You can't use
White people.
You can't use Tom.
I'm just talking about in general, an athlete of that caliber.
No, but you can't use Tom. Like nobody's putting Tom Brady out of the gym.
No, what I'm saying is it wouldn't be taken as does he need to calm down.
White people don't act like that. Okay.
I mean, some people don't like. Yeah. Let me look.
That's what I'm saying. Like if it was
Go to a Lincoln Way East football game and see if you see some
Oh
dads
my God!
See if you see
What
some
we got
dads.
this?
Lincoln Way be blowing teams out. Lincoln Way East be blowing teams out.
I'm not even doing it.
You tell me if you see a dad out there. If you tell me you see a dad out there clowning on the football field, on the 50-yard line.
So you saying only we do that?
Only black people do that. Yeah, only especially it's the parents? Yeah. Come on.
We got to do better, y'all.
Come on. I ain't saying we gotta do better. I'm like, we can still be excited and we can still we can still be us and celebrate.
Just don't go on the court.
You can't be on the court, man. Come on. Can you? Hey, Will.
Huh?
You the only father in the room right
He
now.
wasn't on that court. He was on that court.
Hey, Will, you on the father in the room right now.
Man.
He was on that court.
The Leah grow up.
Uh-huh.
Bing bing.
She hit a girl with the Tim Hardaway.
Bing bing.
Beat left, right, cross.
Oh, you're wrong.
Girl fall.
Ooh. What I'm gonna do?
And then she look at you and start screaming.
What I'm gonna do? I got to grab whoever next to me.
You gonna run on the court?
No. I got to grab whoever next to me.
That's fine. Like
I got to grab
Like,
whoever
I don't have no
next to me.
problem with that.
Like, I got to.
I'm probably gonna be next to you going crazy.
I hope I ain't sitting next to you because I'm running on the
No,
court.
look, I'm gonna grab you. So you don't
I'm
run
running
on
on the court.
Look.
Here's- what?
Look, I'm gonna
I'm running on the court.
grab you so you don't run on
So they kick me out. You
But you know
still
what-
go. I
But you know what's crazy though? Like,
Like, look, wait.
I'm running on the court.
Wait.
I get kicked out. I play sacrificial lamb.
At graduation, when y'all walk the stage, y'all parents scream, y'all family scream.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Nah, they told
Yeah,
us.
my parents. My parents are all at the top too,
Hey,
so I
hey,
can.
hey, mine did. I'm gonna tell you how they did it though. My oldest brother, was under the bleachers and screamed.
So it was an echo.
So it was an echo, but nobody in the family knew he was under there until I walked on the stage and
So
I
was you
seen him.
embarrassed? So was you embarrassed?
No, my mom was pissed, and I ain't get no diploma.
He sure didn't.
I did not. I was the only person who walked off stage no diploma.
You didn't get a diploma because of that?
Yeah,
They told you.
They
had
told you couldn't
no
scream.
nothing.
no
What was
nothing.
that?
8th grade, no nothing.
Oof, tough.
So my brother couldn't even come to my high school graduation. Like my mom would not let him come. They had to sneak in. Like they legit snuck in.
Tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have that problem.
That's
My family ignorant, but you know.
Y'all shit. See,
They let us
see.
know.
So I'm the guy. I'm gonna grab. Like shut up.
No.
Look, I'm gonna grab Rick. Sit down. Sit down.
Did you go up there twice? Did you have? Yeah, honors. You was up there twice, then, right?
For high school? For high school, yeah.
High school.
Not middle school.
You what you having honors? Yeah,
I
honors.
was ass yeah, middle school. Got suspended.
Oh,
Broke somebody. Never mind. We're going.
We do not want to know your criminal background.
Come on.
Good thing we had to clear that before the show.
Oh, man.
We gonna go to David Griffin comments. And we talk about LeBron. David Griffin said that his tenure with the Cavs, it was tough on him. He wasn't necessarily ready for all of the noise that came with that. He went from literally trying to build a young team up organically to LeBron coming to okay, we gotta win 4 championships. You gotta bring in some heavy hitters to go along with LeBron. He then, after these comments came out, went and kind of like backtracked and said it was taken out of context on ESPN. Since then, Bron has tweeted about it, talking about people have been playing with the throne. You know what I'm saying? He was disappointed in David Griffin's comments. Real quick, I just want to get what y'all thought about, should he have said it? What did you agree with? And, should he just focus on the Pelicans? Like, why are you still talking about the Cavs?
I mean, I feel like he was just kind of speaking his mind. It really wasn't like it wasn't like a dart thrown at LeBron. He just said that I go from this expectation to expectation that's all the way on the other side of the planet. That would be stressful for anybody.
Real quick, I want you to just read this quote. He said after they won 2016, LeBron isn't the same animal anymore after they won that championship. How you feel about that? Think that's a shot?
He could possibly.
On the rocks?
Yeah, it could possibly been but at the same time though, I feel like LeBron came out I'm not gonna say he wasn't that for the entire season, because they had some things that happened to them before the season even started that kind of doomed them from the start. The whole Kyrie thing, that kind of doomed them from the start, and it had nothing to do with Griffin, because Griffin has come out publicly and said that he wanted to keep Kyrie. He was not going to trade Kyrie, and the owner came out and said, no, get him off my team now.
I think you're talking about 2 years after they won, no?
No, Kyrie got traded the next year. Am I correct?
Griffin.
Oh, no, 2 years
2
after.
years.
2 years after. 2 years after. So this the year.
That's the
this
year-
is the
that's
first
the
year
year.
KD came.
Yeah, and that's the year, like, I think either Tristan or JR held out for their
Both of them
contracts,
got paid. Both of them got paid. That
but
year.
they weren't like in camp with them. Like, they got paid late in the summer, like late.
But they were in the gym with LeBron. Ooh, so so I thought this was the year there.
Mm-mm.
Okay, all right.
So with Griffin's, because he wasn't the GM the last year, right? When they went to the finals,
No, he wasn't.
No.
right? So
They fired him because of the Kyrie stuff.
yeah,
So so I'm gonna say this, right? Did LeBron come out with the same fire that he had the year before? Probably not, right? But does that mean that LeBron didn't want to win? I'm gonna say no. That doesn't mean that he didn't want to win. So Griff comments might have been right. It might have just been the way he presented it again that was just wrong. Like, and you know, like, I'm even thinking about it in my mind. I think that was the year, like I said, Tristan got paid, JR got paid,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, and maybe that was the year where LeBron was ready or beginning the process of turning the team over to Kyrie, right? Like, maybe he was trying to do that. Maybe he was trying to get Kevin Love more involved, you know, so Kevin Love could feel, you know, better about himself. I don't, like, it's hard for me to remember now 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I almost want to agree with him, actually. Like, I almost want to agree with him, but I can't say that because
they were in the finals again.
they were in the finals again.
Won a game.
They won a game.
They were in both of those. Game 3 and 4 was in Cleveland. They were in both of those.
Yeah.
In both of those. KD come down and smack that 3.
But a couple, but okay, so all right, so I feel like, yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with him. So I feel like the year before that, I feel like LeBron would die for it, like right, like I feel like he would die for it.
He hadn't
like,
won it yet.
He hadn't won it yet. Yeah, well, he hadn't won it there
For
yet.
Cleveland, yeah.
He hadn't won it yet. I feel like he would die for it. Like I feel like he would do anything necessary to come out of that series on top. I mean, and this is after falling 3-1 too.
But think about what happened the year before that, though.
I mean, yeah, with the injuries and stuff. I mean, it's added fuel to the fire, and no, absolutely. But that fire still got to be there, right? Like, you know, like, because when we talk about other greats, like other greats, like, not satisfied with that one. Like, this is a new year. Like, I want to win this year, too. I may feel like the year when KD was there,
First year.
I felt like they were a little overmatched. And then even with some of his comments in the finals, with them saying the difference is KD. Like
Like that's the scapegoat.
they got Kevin Durant on their team. Like, you know, and then him coming out the next year and just saying that they just had more talent than them. Like, I felt like year by year, like I felt like he was kind of like, all right, it don't even matter. Like, I did it already. Like, so I mean, it's tough. Like I said, it's tough for me to say that because he was in the finals.
He still produced.
Still produced.
Yeah.
Like, the numbers were still there. Like, so it's hard for me to say that, but I just felt like that same fire that Griffin said that he had the year they won it may have not been there the next year, and it definitely wasn't there the year after. They were just defeated. They was defeated altogether.
Right. Mm. That's tough.
What do you think? You a LeBron follower? What do you think?
Yeah, he did.
I mean, you a LeBron follower. I mean, you like Brian Windhorst. You the black Brian Windhorst.
It's a little shady over there.
Yeah,
How was it shady? I mean, you
You
follow
can't just be
LeBron.
a fan. You gotta be a follower.
I mean, I'm not calling him like a
I
follower.
can't spell that man's
But what
last
I'm-
name, so I'm gonna take it as disrespect.
But
No,
but what I'm saying is like
I get you.
he's followed his path from Cleveland the first time to Miami to Cleveland the second time, now to LA. Like, you followed it year by year. Like, he spoke his piece, so I want to know his piece. It's a good question, right?
I don't think he lost. is a little bit lazier.
That's losing fire.
That's losing fire, right?
It
That
and
try to be
I've always said like, there's no reason why you shouldn't be picking Kevin Durant up full court with the game on the line. When he came to hit that three and he picked him up, I feel like the year before, whoever that was like KD even at like, you know what I'm saying, just like he would have picked him up full court. He like waited till KD came to the 3-point line and gave a fake hand in the face. And we all know in the NBA, a fake hand in the face is no hand in the face at all.
Especially for a 7-foot
Yeah.
guard.
So I will say, you know, he was satisfied with that three because I mean, Brian had come out and said it. He said when he won that ship in 2016, he felt like this is the moment I feel like I'm the greatest. This is what made me the greatest of all time. So when you come out and say that, that means that look, who else are you chasing if you feel like you're the greatest at this point? You know what I'm saying? So I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
All right.
But I will say the hunger for more is ever so present now that with everything that's been spoken on his name, people done had him barely top 5.
Barely.
You know what I'm saying?
ESPN
Like,
didn't, some dude didn't even have him top 5.
Look.
ESPN.
oh my God.
They do this every year with the older players.
I mean, but
They drop you off. Once you hit that mid-30s mark, they start dropping you
I mean,
farther and farther down.
it's gonna be a lot of. I can't wait till the season starts. That's all I'm gonna say. And I read how it's looking like. We saw the Christmas games, right? So who we got on Christmas? We had Clippers, Lakers, Celtics, and Raptors.
Celtics and Raptors.
We got the Bucks
Sixers
and
and
Sixers.
Bucks. Yep.
Celtics and Raptors.
And then the Pelicans and the Nuggets.
And the Nuggets. So we got some Lonzo Ball versus Jamal Murray tension going on.
Was. Oh yeah.
People didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But
That's a rivalry.
I read first game of the season, it's looking like Clippers and Lakers.
It's coming out tomorrow, actually.
It's looking like
I
Clippers and
hope
Lakers.
it's not. I hope it's
It's
not.
coming out Tuesday.
I hope it's not.
Ratings gonna be through the roof.
It probably will be, but I'd rather see the Clippers versus the Raptors.
So what's gonna be the first game then? Because you know it's gotta be an East Coast game.
They said it was going to be the Pelicans versus the Raptors.
The Pelicans versus the Raptors.
Ugh. Yuck.
So they got Zion.
Oh, because it's ring night. They gotta get their rings.
Yeah, they got Zion on national TV.
Yeah, and they should
First.
let Kawhi get his ring first game, and then go out there and either get blown out or blow the Raptors out.
I just can't see them. I can't see them having the Clippers and Lakers on those 2 nights because that's
On the first night,
First night?
first night and Christmas. Yeah, I can't see
Why
them.
not?
They gotta play both
I
times.
can't remember the last time it's been like that.
The Lakers and the Clippers on.
No, just the same 2 teams playing on
We ain't never had this type of
opening
dynamic.
night and Christmas.
Yeah,
We ain't had this type of
even
dynamic.
with the Warriors, like the Warriors always played a different team.
We haven't had this.
Yeah.
This is the same building.
I mean,
That hallway rivalry.
yeah, and people
Who gets the home game first?
Yeah,
do it.
flip a coin.
Yeah,
What
really.
matter?
Yeah, no, it matters. It definitely matters because they hide our banners. Like, it definitely matters.
Well, hide the banners, piss them off.
It's still gonna be more.
Season ticket holders don't get their seats.
It's still gonna be more purple and gold in the stands though.
I mean, well, of course. I mean, it's LA.
So that's why I say it don't like.
It does matter though. It does matter.
Oh, well, I'm new to this
It matters.
this Lakers
It
thing.
matters.
You know what I mean?
It matters. When that floor is a little gold and a little purple, it matters.
The lighting is a little different.
Yeah. A lot more banners in the arena.
Once
I-
LeBron calls it whatever you're gonna call it,
I don't know if they ain't gonna have any more damn banners. All the people they have,
And they trying to move.
traded.
They trying to move.
They
the
need to
Clippers.
move.
Yeah, trying
They
to
need
get in
to
the arena. So, yeah, I just wanted to mention that's gonna be exciting. So we
I don't
gonna.
want to see it twice though. Like
I mean, you talking what? October
like-
and
A lot of these people here.
October
Yes,
and-
see October, then I'm gotta see it again.
you gotta
on
play them 4
Christmas.
times anyway.
Yeah, but I don't want to see it on those
That's
days.
like
Why?
Rather be like
you want to see all those games on TV.
MLK Day. What's the difference?
Like one, I'd rather see one of the games on MLK Day. Like I don't want to see.
They might play on MLK Day.
That would be even worse. If they play MLK Day, I would be done.
I mean, they gotta play them 4 times, bro. When do you? I mean,
And you think they're not gonna be on TV?
Put them on TV.
I know all of them gonna be on TV. It's the Lakers.
Literally,
The Lakers
like,
are always
You just
on
don't
TV.
want them on like holidays or
Yeah,
like
like,
always.
right,
yeah, that's like 3 months
I
though.
want to see them.
Fucking
I want to
3
see them on opening night and then see them again on Christmas. Like,
You saying it like that's close?
I mean,
I mean, but
are
it's
you
just
saying
like-
you don't want to see them play each other?
Yeah, I want to see them play each other. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind both the teams.
They both gonna be on opening night.
Yeah, I don't mind them being on opening night. I just don't want to see them playing each
That
other.
might be
Like,
the most watched opening night game.
Yeah, Mike, that's what I'm saying. You definitely gotta capitalize.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So,
Whatever.
oh, yeah.
Whatever.
Mm.
Not a
I'm
fan of it.
shocked.
Yeah, not a fan of it. It's not.
Mm.
Nah, I'd rather play somebody different.
I'm drinking my drink.
Yeah, me too. Sip slow.
Like Lakers and the Sixers.
Come here, money shit.
What? Yeah, it's Ben Simmons, LeBron, that's prime team.
Ben
They had some
Simmons.
great time. They had great games actually. They had some. LeBron and Ben Simmons actually had some great games.
Hey, what'd you say earlier?
Some
Hey,
very
I
great
understand what you're saying.
Or LeBron and Giannis.
I understand it.
I want to see other great
But we're
players.
gonna move that to the left, and come on. Pat Bev, they've been talking. It's been a lot of trash.
I'm okay with that. We played them on opening night 2 years ago. Well, not that y'all.
Was it Lonzo's rookie year?
Yeah, it was when
Pat Bev was all-
Pat Bev was talking crazy.
Yeah.
We played them opening night. Well, our opening night. It was opening night in the year though.
A little bit more exciting this time around. We're gonna switch gears. We're gonna go to football. NFL just released their top 10 players, and this is according to last year, right? Based off of last year.
Based off of last year.
Okay, and the players choose this, correct?
Yeah.
And they're active players. Let's
go
let's
from-
say that.
They are active players.
Okay, let's
And I think over 1,000 players vote. 1,100 players vote.
Okay.
Here go the list right
I
here.
got it. If I slip up, let me know. Number 10, Von Miller.
Yep.
All right, I got the legit list. All right, number 9, Julio Jones.
Yeah.
Number 8, Buddy from Green Bay.
Yeah.
Number 7, Antonio Brown.
Whoa. Wait a minute.
Number 6,
Wait a minute. What you
Tom
just say?
Brady.
Go back to.
You said Buddy from Green Bay. I didn't think that was the name. What's the
Buddy
name?
from Green Bay.
I'm with him. I'm with you, Ray. Buddy from Green Bay.
Only Aaron I'm going to acknowledge is Wilson right here because his damn sure ain't going to be.
No respect. Damn.
Hey, you stop me again and talk about when these cheeseheads, and I'm going upside your head. Okay. Okay.
It's a furniture mover.
Hey, look.
Oh my God.
All right. Number 6.
Best quarterback in the division.
Well, he is every year.
Show some respect then.
Is that hard?
Dang.
Stafford?
It's some trash quarterbacks in the division.
I mean, we
Bro,
got no
Stafford,
elite.
Kirk Cousins, and Mitch
True
Trubisky.
religion. True religion.
Ooh.
We got a 3rd-year quarterback. We got a overrated check downer, and we got a
And somebody that
guy that
people
throws the
consider
ball
as a GOAT.
60 times.
So Mitch is
He's a 3rd-year quarterback.
I mean, people consider him a GOAT.
who can say him a go?
A lot of people.
A lot
A lot
of people.
of
Who said
people.
that?
A lot of people. You better turn your TV on.
No, you said go watch some NFL. Watch some more. A
You
lot
watch
of
some more.
people.
You better,
What's your boy
no, you
Stephen
better turn
A?
your
You
TV on.
bad man.
Oh, man.
You watch Undisputed? Shannon Sharp?
They love Aaron Rodgers.
Where's Candy at? Man, who said that?
They love Aaron Rodgers.
Boy, you better turn your TV on.
Yeah, they do that.
Nobody calling Aaron Rodgers.
They say that a lot.
So number 8, Buddy from Green Bay. Number 7, Antonio Brown. 6, the GOAT. 5,
Wait.
Ty Gurley.
Say the GOAT's name. What's
Yo,
his
you
name?
don't have to say his
That's
name.
why you
We
say
know
the
who it
GOAT.
is. We know who it is. You don't got to say his name.
People.
Everybody don't know who it is.
Listen, everybody know who the GOAT is.
Everybody don't know who it is.
If you watch football, you don't know who the GOAT is. And you might as well
We know
cancel
who the
your
GOAT is.
Everybody
subscription.
But there's some
know
dumb,
who the
there's some
GOAT
dumb people
is.
out here that don't know who the GOAT is.
Everybody don't know who the GOAT is.
Thomas, Patrick,
Because the
Gene,
GOAT number
Brady.
6 on this list.
See what I'm saying?
That's the problem.
The GOAT number 6 on this list.
So, GOAT's number 6. Ty Gurley's number 5. Mahomes number 4.
Oh, that's
My
insane.
boy Khalil Mack at number 3. Why does it have? Okay, I'm looking at a bogus list. Now. Drew Brees number 2 and Aaron Donald number 1. Look at this.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to
Yeah,
get
it's got a
I was
glitch.
trying to-
I thought I had a good list. I was going
It's
in
got a
order, but
glitch.
Yeah, it's definitely a glitch.
somebody got fired.
No, it's still up, so they still got it.
Jesus.
They gonna get fired.
This is NFL. NFL.com. Get it together.
Right.
Get it together, okay? You got Antonio Brown on here twice. Okay? Jesus. Okay. Y'all agree with the list? Yes, no, in between.
I agree with the players, not the order.
I don't agree with the players.
Whoa. Okay. Who you taking out?
We taking Antonio Brown out right now.
I can't do
Top 10?
that. I can't do that.
We're switching for DeAndre Hopkins, yes, sir.
I can't do
Yes,
that.
we can.
I can't do that.
Wait, so you saying? Okay, so let me ask you this: Are you saying he doesn't deserve to be in the top 10 or just not at number 7? So if you
He
add,
doesn't deserve to be in the top 10.
Yeah, I can't say that.
Over DeAndre Hopkins? Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. No.
no, I'm not. I'm saying if Hopkins and Antonio can be in your top 10, there's nobody else you would take out.
No.
Yeah, I can't do that.
No.
Pretty much thought about that.
I would take out Aaron Rodgers.
We could take out Aaron
I would
Rodgers
take
if
him
you
out
wanted
before I
to.
took out.
Now,
Based off last year.
if you base it off last
If we
year,
basing it off last year, I would take out.
we could take out Aaron Rodgers. If we want to base it off last year, we definitely could take out Aaron Rodgers.
They were sitting there losing home games to Arizona Cardinals with the season on the line. Don't tell me about that guy from Green Bay. Don't you talk to me about
My other issue.
Don't you do that.
You just want to know who I would replace who with who?
No, I'm saying like, so is it just a swap? Like, okay, I would put Hopkins at 7, and I would take Antonio Brown off the list completely, or can you have Antonio and Hopkins both on the list and take somebody else out?
So I'm okay with Aaron Rodgers being considered a top 10 player in the league.
He threw 2 interceptions last year.
Man, yeah, but he throws the ball out of bounds every time he doesn't see anybody. I hate that. I hate when Aaron Rodgers takes no chances, Jack. None. If he don't see no,
with that. What is wrong with that?
we sit here and talk about Kirk Cousins never throwing the ball down the field. We talk about like I can't even think.
I mean, we had
Maybe you talk about Phillip Rivers, being too aggressive.
We had Drew Brees in the MVP conversation because he wasn't throwing interceptions last year.
Yeah, but Drew Brees still was taking chances. Like Drew Brees wasn't watch a Green Bay Packers game. If Aaron Rodgers does not see anybody open, he is throwing the ball out of it. He's
Gets out of the
not.
pocket, throws it away.
He is not taking a chance at all.
I don't mind that.
I hate that. I hate that. You want your quarterback to take a chance. You want your quarterback to put faith in his receiver that they could win a 50-50 ball. Like Aaron Rodgers will always be a low interception guy because he's going to stand there, he's going to scramble around, he's going to move left, he's going to move right, nobody's going to get open, he's going to throw the ball right out of bounds.
I wish more quarterbacks who threw 15 to 20 interceptions would do that. It's not a bad.
So you don't like the fact that Andrew Luck is willing to take a chance?
Oh, I hate it. Throw the ball away. I'll be screaming at the TV. Throw it away. Throw it away. Throw it away. He gets hit too much. That's how you get hit. That's how you throw interceptions. Trying to make the miracle play. I wish Andrew Luck would throw the ball away.
I'm making a miracle play. Give your receiver a chance.
It's
Give your receiver a chance.
called making miracle plays. You got another down, throw it away. Period.
Aaron Rodgers will throw the ball away on 3rd and 15 if ain't nobody open. It could be 3rd and 2, ain't nobody open. He might throw it away.
At least you give your defense a chance.
6-9-1 last year with those cheeseheads.
So I'm gonna go back.
So does Von Miller deserve to be on this list?
Absolutely. Von Miller's a monster.
Their team was trash last year too. What does that mean?
Von Miller is a monster.
Their team was trash last year too. I'm talking to Ray now.
Oh,
Ray
okay.
bringing the records into it. Like,
I'm gonna big up the Packers.
so this is a
personal
bias.
vendetta.
This is a hard.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
a
This
hard
is a hard
conversation
pick.
for you.
This is a hard pick. It's okay. I
Okay.
respect it.
Okay.
I respect it.
Oh, I got 2 biased members on the panel.
I'm not biased. I just said Rodgers could be in the top 10. I just said that. He could be in the top 10.
I'm saying if I would take somebody out, I would take Aaron Rodgers out before I take Antonio Brown.
I'm taking Antonio Brown out.
That was me.
I'm going to replace a receiver with a receiver.
All right.
So what's the order that you say you disagree with the order?
Your MVP. So
I don't
here's my thing. Your MVP of the league
Don't
cannot be the 4th best player according to the players.
He gotta be top 3 at least.
He got to be top 2. Because even if he's number 2. So this is what I read into it. Like if the players had the ability to vote MVP, Aaron Donald would be the MVP. Right? Patrick Mahomes would have been 4th on that list.
Yeah, that's
Not necessarily though.
Think about it. The play. 1,100 players voted. If the players got to vote for the MVP, they practically just told you their ranking of lists would be Aaron Donald, Drew Brees, Khalil Mack, then Pat Mahomes.
But best player and MVP are 2 different. That's kind of different. It's kind of different, right?
so.
Because MVP, you can mean you just valued your team. You made plays happen. You you excelled, your play elevated. That doesn't necessarily mean you're the best player.
Yes.
So you don't think Aaron Donald is the best player in the NFL?
I think you could make an argument for it. I'm not
It's hard.
I don't have no problem with Aaron Donald being number one on this list. That's not my
I'm just saying, could you make the argument that Aaron Donald, despite the fact that he plays defense and does not score the ball, is the best player in the NFL? Like when he steps on that field every Sunday, he is affecting the game in more ways than one without touching the ball. He don't ever touch the ball.
I mean, he has to. I mean, he has to affect the game, right, without touching the ball, right?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, think about it. I feel the MVP is always geared towards quarterbacks. Quarterbacks
Absolutely,
touch the
yeah.
ball all game long, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Like everybody eats off of the quarterback. So and this is just my own personal issue, is that reporters don't, to me, when they vote MVP, they don't really look at everything in totality. They don't look at both sides of the ball. Like I don't know if we have ever seen a defensive player win MVP, and I don't think we will ever see a defensive player win MVP. But we probably, and here's the thing I would even say, right? I think Khalil Mack and Aaron Donald are the two best players in football. The two best players in football, because they can affect the game without even touching the ball. Like you having nightmares as a player, as a coach, as a fan, anybody trying to figure out how to defend them two guys, how to stop them two guys from killing your quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with that. So to me, it's not the list looking at it. It's not, like Five said, it's not who's the best players. It's who the players feel had the best years the year before.
But I don't think that's it. Because
It's gotta be.
No, if that was it, Mahomes would be number one.
No, because that's what I'm saying. The players might not think that Mahomes had that great of a year.
So this is disrespectful. Now we getting into disrespect because how can I don't know, man.
How can you throw for 50 touchdowns and not be the best?
And how can Tom Brady be number 6?
But okay, let's just.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but look,
like it's
I'm a Brady fan, but let's just take Brady. Brady probably should be top 5. I will say that Brady should be top 5, right? But I'm just gonna be 100% honest, and I'm just giving it to the defense. The two best players to me in the league both play on the defensive side of the ball, and Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack.
I don't have no problem with you feeling like that.
The two best players in the league play on the defensive side of the ball.
They create havoc every single week.
Every play that they're on the field, they create havoc. And they will
make other guys better just by being on the field.
I mean, just by Khalil Mack being on the field, dude, the Bears defense went from wherever they were the year before to the number 1 defense in the league with the most takeaways. Dude, like it was just night and day.
Oh, you gotta tell me twice.
Night and day.
Beautiful thing.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Like, what it was like 4 or 5 weeks in a row that dude had a strip sack fumble?
Yeah, they're scoring off of it too.
That's why, like, come on.
And then we were downing him for not having takeaways. Like
You get what I'm saying? Like, he
that's
set the
type
bar
of,
so
that's the type of
high.
expectations he put.
Like, them are the two best players in the
I
league.
don't have no problem with you feeling like that.
The two best players in the league playing these. And I'm gonna go back to what I was saying earlier. Like, they are going to get cheated because they're not quarterbacks. Like, this is the time. This is probably last year, the year before, maybe even this year. Like this 3-year, 4-year window since Aaron Donald been in the league and Khalil Mack now in Chicago. We should see a defensive player win the MVP every year. It shouldn't be, to me, it shouldn't be a quarterback. Like, I'm just being real. Like last year, Aaron Donald should have won. The year before that, Aaron Donald probably should have won. Like, and that's crazy because him and Khalil Mack have the same kind of imprint, but Khalil probably just got to do a little bit more to I don't even know what more he could do, really. Maybe return a punt or something. I don't know. To even be like, man, come on, dude. And one playing nose tackle and one playing in. Come on, man. We ain't seen nobody dominate like this since Lawrence Taylor.
You know, they break an ankle. Literally.
To me, Mahomes gotta be number 3.
I'm okay with that.
Gotta be top 3. That's what I said. You gotta be top 3.
Gotta be
Like,
number 3.
there's no way he'd be 4 on this list.
Nah.
Like, no way.
No.
He undeniably had a better, not a huge bigger year than Drew Brees, but he had a better year than Drew Brees. And
The man
not
was
by
a
much.
coin flip away, a coin toss away from maybe going past the Patriots
To the Super Bowl.
to the Super Bowl.
Well, Drew Brees was a bogus 9 call away from going to the Super Bowl.
Himself. But we're talking about a guy who had 50 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 5,000 yards passing.
Yeah,
Like,
he should be number 3.
number 3.
Yeah, like I said, I think the 3 quarterbacks you could go. To me, I would win Aaron Donald, Khalil Mack, Mahomes, Brees, Brady. I'm okay with that.
I still have Brady number 1.
That's biased. I'm
It's
not.
not biased. It's just a little biased, but it's
Based off of last year,
Nah,
that's a lot biased.
Nah,
He did not have the best year, his best year last year.
But he still affected the game because of who he is.
Yeah.
When it matters, when it matters.
But we're talking about out of the totality of an entire season.
Yeah, we're not talking
Like,
about
not just during just clutch moments. Like, I mean,
they've been in the Super Bowl for the last, what?
3 years.
Who was the last team? Who was the last team? Football. You know how hard it is just to get to the Super Bowl.
But see, that's not all Brady.
Who's that?
That's not. They defense was.
I was gonna say Brady don't play
Not last year.
cornerback.
Not last year.
Yes, it was.
They only gave up.
Their defense wasn't great last year.
Yes,
They
it was.
gave up.
Yes,
It was great.
3 points in the
the
Super
word great.
Bowl.
Great.
They gave up 3 points in the Super Bowl.
I'm talking about overall the whole season.
I think the Patriots might have only gave up 16
They-
points
they-
a game last year.
Booth, he threw for 29 touchdowns. Mahomes threw for 50. he threw for 40,
We're not talking about team.
4,300 yards. Mahomes threw for 5,000. No knock on Tom Brady. We know Tom Brady is the truth. Like, Tom Brady is.
But you can't be. You
But come on
can't.
now. Like, that's a down year for Brady. Like, that's a down year.
So he had the same year that he had this year last year.
At this point, we know he's gonna be
That's a
consistent.
down year for Brady.
Yeah, but it's like, come on, man. He's 40.
That's a down year for
2,
Brady.
and just signed an extension.
Yeah, he's 42.
42, just signed an extension.
And I think, yeah.
6th highest paid quarterback in the league this year.
Yeah.
I'm a Brady fan, and I'm not even gonna be biased.
So who else you got?
they'll let him.
Who else you got before we move on to the next subject? So what would your 10 be?
What's your next 5? We got your top 5. What's your next 5?
I definitely would have Gurley at 6. Actually, I would keep Gurley at 5. I might keep Brady at 6, actually.
Okay, I like it.
If we basing off last year,
Last year.
yeah, if we basing off last year, I would keep Gurley at 5, put Brady at 6. Aaron Rodgers got to drop down a little bit for me. I'd probably put Von Miller at 7.
So you have both receivers at 8 and 9.
Man, low key, I would really want to drop Julio Jones off this list.
Because he doesn't score enough touchdowns?
And I want to put Hopkins on the list.
Oh, so you would put Hopkins over Julio.
Based off last year.
And keep Antonio on the list.
The only reason...
It's the touchdowns.
It's a touchdown.
It's touchdowns.
And that ain't even Julio's fault.
They don't look for him.
That ain't his fault.
But, I mean, it is what it is, though.
That's not his fault.
It's not.
I mean,
But
I mean,
in the grand scheme
I
of
mean, I
things,
can't control it either when I'm looking at the numbers and I'm looking at the games.
it's not. But who do
Oh!
But, I mean, if you're looking at other guys getting in the end zone, you gotta go with that.
Man, dog.
Yeah.
Dog, that's crazy. That ain't his fault.
It's not.
I mean,
And
I'm
his
not,
quarterback is the top 100 player. And I got a whole nother gripe with that.
What, Mike?
no knock on Julio Jones.
Yeah.
Julio Jones is the truth, man. But,
Matt Ryan can't give Julio the ball in the end zone?
They don't be looking for
dude, he got 11 total touchdowns in 2 years.
That's have you seen their play calling when they get in the red zone? It's like Julio doesn't even
Dude, I
exist.
play FanDuel way too much. And I have Julio a few. I'm like, man, he gonna get it going this week.
Never.
Man, give you 120 receiving yards on 8 catches.
No touchdowns.
You getting 12 fantasy. 12 fantasy.
Antonio Brown's had 15 touchdowns last year.
Yeah.
He has 11 in 2 years.
But you know what what Big Ben gonna do with Antonio? He gonna feed him the ball.
Yeah, give me Antonio Brown. I'm pushing Julio out.
You pushing Julio out?
I would push Julio out. No knock on Julio Jones. Julio Jones is a top 10 talent, but if I'm basing it off last year, absolutely.
Let's just put a disclaimer, just because he don't score no touchdowns.
That's fine with me. I'm cool with you saying that.
If Julio had...
I mean, I'm keeping Antonio Brown, who has 24 touchdowns in 2 years, and Julio Jones has 11. Like,
this is what I'm saying. If Julio had 20 touchdowns in 2 years, Julio would still be on the list.
I mean, just go on stats. According to the stats, the Antonio Brown better than last year.
Julio got a quarterback that is
Julio Jones is the best receiver in the league, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And Antonio Brown sharing throws with Juju too.
Yeah, but
Antonio Brown really ain't sharing with nobody really.
Oh, you mean Julio?
Julio Jones, yeah. Julio Jones really ain't sharing.
Yeah, they try to spread it. They try to spread it out in Atlanta. That's what's wrong.
A little bit last year. What was the second? What was the guy who had the big week? The real big week for Atlanta last year.
Who you talking about? Calvin Ridley?
Yeah, it was Ridley. So they try to get
no other running back deserve to be on this list?
No.
No Zeke?
Top 10?
No. Zeke don't deserve to be on there.
I would take Aaron Rodgers off this list.
I'm not taking Aaron Rodgers off the list.
Who you putting in there?
I'll put Hopkins on the list.
So you're going to have 3 receivers on
I would
top
keep
10.
3 receivers. I would take Aaron Rodgers off the list. Yeah.
I just want to know why Rob Gronkowski ain't on the list. That's what I want to know.
Not active.
I don't care. You talking about
Obviously.
You talking about last year?
He's not active. This is active players, they will.
Rob Gronkowski need to be on the list.
This is active players.
We're going to keep it NFL.
He's at Live. He recovering from Live last night. All right, this is active players.
He was at Live last night?
Yeah, probably.
I should have been with him.
We're going to go, past few weeks we've been doing our, predictions. What have we covered so far? We've done the NFC and the AFC
West
and East. Now it's time for the South. So I want to start with, man, AFC, NFC.
Let's go AFC.
AFC. Who wants to go? Who been going? I haven't went first yet.
Well, go first.
Go first.
All right. Thanks, guys. First place I got the Colts. That schedule is like, bro, is soft, bro. It's soft, bro.
Hey, listen, it's your
12-4. Indianapolis Colts. I'll be surprised if Luck is in that MVP discussion. 12-4. 10-6. Tennessee Titans. 9-7. Houston Texans. Indiana Jaguars, I got them at 7-9.
You'd have to even mention them.
Get him out of here.
But yeah, man. Colts. Whew. Let's see.
Does another team from that AFC South make the playoffs?
Yeah.
There's only 2.
They had 2 teams last year.
Yeah. I think the Titans will make it.
No Texans. Interesting.
The other AFC division. Only one team come out.
I like watching, but man, like,
Don't sell it to me. Sell it to the people.
yeah. So that's what I got.
What you get?
I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go. I mean, y'all know my predictions.
I got the Texans winning the division. And
Record.
Record 10-6. I got them and the Colts with the same record.
You win the tiebreaker.
Yeah, and both of them making the playoff.
Okay.
Happened last year. I'm mad at that.
Okay. Look up a few things. Sorry. Our sponsor.
The Tennessee Titans. Yeah. Marcus Mariota is their quarterback. Cancel Christmas.
Amen.
Mariota ain't been good since Oregon.
Let's A lot of quarterbacks ain't been good. It was on good teams.
And then you got the Jaguars last.
Yeah, Nick Foles is their quarterback. I still don't know who their receivers are.
Terrell Pryor.
Yeah.
Marquise Lee.
Okay.
D.D. Westbrook.
Yep.
Pryor.
Keelan Cole.
When you started with Terrell Pryor, I already stopped listening.
All right. So
We got a college quarterback turn receiver. Cut it out.
Trying to win your heart.
No,
win
you
your
work. No.
That works and works.
That's like going. Tell me the Steelers and start with Antoine Randall Will. Come on now, cut it out. Cut it out.
Jesus.
That's his speed.
My Lord.
If Antoine Randall, never mind. Go ahead, fine.
So it's my turn.
It's your turn. We know you got the Colts.
So of course I had the Indianapolis Colts winning the division.
But 14-2.
11-5.
Oh, you got with less wins than Dougie.
Look at the
11.
schedule. Have you looked at the schedule?
11-5.
I don't like looking at paper. Sorry.
Just look, bro. Look,
I don't like looking
just
at
go.
paper.
Why you get just breeze through that, man. Just go through that, man.
They play the Chiefs opening the weekend.
0-1.
They play the Texans after that.
0-2.
They play the Broncos.
We beat the
The
Texans.
Texans.
We beat the Texans.
They in Houston. They in Houston.
That's a
Yeah,
dog.
we beat them last year.
They in Houston.
The Texans got a home field all of a sudden.
Turn 2? That's not.
They
That's
got
not,
the Broncos,
that's
the
not
Steelers.
0-3.
Texas beat y'all in the playoffs last year, didn't they? Nah, they lost.
No, we beat them.
I remember. Broncos, Steelers, Dolphins, Jags, Texans, Thursday night, Titans, Bucks, Saints, Panthers, Jaguars.
Yeah, they made the playoff.
I mean, they
I've seen worse schedule. Let's go to Houston.
Okay, let's go to Houston.
Let's go to Houston, man.
Keep going.
But yeah, do you think?
Okay. So I got the Colts winning the division 11-5.
Okay.
Offensive line keeps getting better. The Colts' success is all about protecting the line, protecting the quarterback. If we can protect Luck, give him time to throw in the quarterback, keep him healthy, we will win games. Proven fact. It's been like that since Luck became the starting quarterback. So the line is one of the best lines in the league. Defense continues to get better. I got the Colts winning the division at 11-5. I do not trust the Titans, so I'm gonna go with the Houston Texans at 2 in the division. I got them at 9-7. I think they do make the playoffs.
What do you think of this schedule?
But I think they make the playoffs because of their defense and not their offense. I like Hopkins. Watson is shaky. If you watch Wild 'N Out, you know, you're a little shaky.
A little shaky.
You're a little shaky.
Want a roast?
Watson a little shaky. You know, Fuller's got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Fuller's got to stay healthy. But their defense, I mean, you got Watt and Clowney out there, so they always going to be stout defensively. But I don't know if they're going to be able to put up enough points. And their division is, their schedule is rough.
Now, let me ask you this. 'Cause I seen it floating out there.
Their schedule is rough.
I seen it floating out there. If the Texans trade for Melvin Gordon, do they become your favorite?
That's a great pickup. They
Do they become your favorite?
They don't never have a run game.
yeah, I would say it'd be neck and neck. Yeah, that would push them. That may push them to 1. I would agree with that. I agree with that. But they'd be like at that 11-5 mark too,
Yeah.
along with the Colts, and both teams would just make the playoffs. But I like Melvin Gordon though. But who are they giving up for him though? That would be the thing though. Like who are they giving up for him? Like if they giving up a big piece of their team, like we'll have to see what they do. But I like that pickup though.
Yeah.
I like Melvin Gordon on the Colts too. You can just throw that out there. But got the Tennessee Titans at 3. Marcus Mariota as a quarterback. Enough said.
Only Ray believes in Marcus.
And Derrick Henry.
I ain't say it was all right.
Derrick Henry also been a little hurt too in the preseason too. So we'll see how. Yeah, he a little shaky.
Shaky.
He a little shaky. And the Jaguars just suck. So I'm not even gonna talk about them.
Want a roast?
All right, so
Nah, you don't talk about
NFC South. Saints, 11-5. 11-5. Falcons, 10-6.
Oh, pretty interesting. Oh, 10 wins for the Falcons.
How many was it last year? They're going to have the same team this year, right?
You going to Vegas?
Hell yeah, going to Vegas. Oh,
10 wins. 10 wins. 10 wins. Panthers, 9-7. Bucks, 6-10.
Yeah, they never just said that they was going to win 10 games.
how many they win last year? 4? 5?
What did they win last year?
Yeah, no. We got a trade rate. They didn't tell us about the trade. They probably got another receiver.
Hold on. No, how many did they, look that up. I'm looking at their schedule. How many did they win last year?
4 or 5 games.
Hold on, I'll tell you.
One of those?
Yeah.
Why can't teams?
They won last year, man.
Hold on, bro.
Dang it.
Last year?
They won 7 games. 7-9.
7-9.
Yeah.
7-9. So you got 10-6.
Plus 3. All right, plus 3 wins.
Yeah.
When they start betting here in Illinois in about September, you might want to throw you some money on that. Because ain't nobody betting over on that.
How many they got? How much Vegas got winning right now? I mean, they schedule it. Ain't no cakewalk. That's for damn sure.
Minnesota, Philly, Indy, Tennessee.
They got them winning 8.5 games.
Yeah, you got them 1.5.
Definitely can win
All right, go
You
ahead.
said
Keep
10.
going, keep going.
that. I know, but I'm saying if you in Vegas though, you just take the over on that jam.
Oh, so you gonna take the over?
I mean,
You
8.5.
gonna put 100 on the over?
You got to weigh out the different teams.
No, that's not what I asked you.
I don't know if I got that much confidence.
Oh well, all right.
Go
So,
ahead. So you got the Falcons at 2. Did you do all yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, Panthers 3, 9-7, Bucks 6-10.
So how many teams you got making the playoffs?
Saints and Falcons.
Mm.
Go ahead,
Wow. So,
Dougie got everybody being good.
everybody.
Ain't gonna be no bad teams in there.
None. I don't think anybody has had like a losing record yet, according to you.
49 79.
Oh, okay.
Cardinals 4-12.
Uh,
Broncos 6-10.
yeah.
I had to go back and look.
You only got 3 teams so far.
Giants 4-12. Redskins 6-10. Bills 7-9. Jets 6-10. Dolphins 4-12. Put some respect on my list.
You've been writing them down, I see.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely got it written down, week by week.
Reference. I gotta have something to reference to. Wait, I can't wait till we do the NFC.
We got 2
Which
teams
one
coming
of
up.
the Bears? 13-3,
18 and
14 and 2.
15-1.
Oh man.
Get yourself together. All right, so the South.
Get yourself together.
For the South, I got the. This is a little recency bias, you know.
Oh my
Well,
god.
you gotta explain it, bro.
Oh my god, that's gonna be awful.
I got the Carolina Panthers, man.
The man got 2 bad shoulders.
I'm going with the hood quarterback.
Ain't doomed.
Ain't that what Jamal called him? The hood
Hood
quarterback.
great.
That man can't even give out good hugs.
Oh.
The man can't even get out good hugs. You got to win the division. Come on now.
Oh.
No, I really don't. I got the Saints.
Okay.
I got the Saints.
I was about to say, don't do that.
I got the Saints, then
Don't
the
do that.
Panthers,
Okay.
then the Falcons.
I want to pick. I wanted some
records. Use some records. You gotta put out records out there.
I wanted to pick the Panthers, but I'm just.
I got 11-5 for the Saints. I got 8-8 for the Falcons, I got 9-7 for the Panthers and the Bucks. I don't know.
To hell with them, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I've given up on Jameis Winston.
As you should.
You know what James Winston gonna be doing in a few years?
Still in crab legs.
Eating them just like in them videos and people be watching. People eat them
Come on, man.
them seafood boils. We gonna see famous James.
Jesus Christ.
You're gonna be in Publix.
Crab legs, all type of shit, going crazy. We're gonna have some famous James butter, butter sauce.
Jameis got a top. Jameis has a top 5 receiver in the league.
My goodness.
I just want to put that out there.
Is he 5? He's got to be 5, right?
It might be 4.
That's a different discussion for a different day.
He said it might be 4.
It might be 4. I gotta look.
All right, my turn.
It's your turn.
Oh,
All right.
shit.
I got the Saints winning the division, 12-4.
Okay.
Look at this schedule.
12-4.
Does anybody wait before you go? Does anybody feel like last year is gonna play a part into that season? Like that's why I'm a little shaky on the Saints. A little shaky.
A little shaky.
I feel like the way they lost, I just feel like, man, they just got it.
I feel like
And Kamara now is getting all of the touches.
they will be better by subtraction. They will be better by subtraction.
All of the touches.
Kamara get all the touches.
They still don't have a second receiver.
But Drew Brees got to make his money.
No, but they never had one either.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
They've never had one. And the reason I asked you was Mike Evans a top 5 receiver because I think Michael Thomas is a top 5 receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
So I think they have one of the best wide receivers. They got one of the best running backs. They got one of the best quarterbacks. They're gonna be able to score the football.
Can they stop somebody?
That's gonna be the question. The one thing with them is they play some pretty good defenses. They play 4 really good defenses the first 7 weeks. They're gonna play the Rams. They're gonna play the Seahawks. They're gonna play the Jaguars. They're gonna play the Bears.
Where do they play those games at?
The game is at Chicago, at LA, at Seattle,
Oof.
and at Jacksonville.
That makes a big difference.
Yes.
I bet that hurts.
They might be 2-5.
They ain't the greatest team on the road.
Seattle was a little different. LA,
if it ain't
the LA
cold,
game,
though.
yeah, the LA game is gonna be warm. It's early in the year. It's the first 2
Jacksonville's
weeks.
gonna be warm.
It's the first 2 weeks.
Still great. Well, you right.
Seattle's gonna be warm. Jacksonville's gonna be warm. I mean, they play the Bears week 7.
It ain't no telling what the damn weather gonna be.
Yeah.
We could get sun, 80 degrees about a goddamn
That's
kickoff.
that's what, October?
Yeah, October 20th.
Yeah. So I mean, it's probably gonna be decent. It's gonna be decent weather. It ain't gonna be freezing.
On the lake, by the lake.
It ain't gonna be freezing.
Well, you just never know.
Yeah, you never know. You do never know.
Chicago, you just never know.
But I got them going 12-4.
Okay.
I have the Falcons going 8-8.
You don't have no faith. You don't have no faith in the hood, great.
No.
Wait, you said the Falcons?
I got the Falcons going 8-8.
Okay.
Got the Falcons going 8-8.
You don't got no faith in the hood, great.
In the what?
Hood, great.
Oh,
Cameron Newton.
you see that boy ain't hood? You see that boy what? Ain't nothing hood about that
I done
boy.
seen some gangsters, but never mind.
Anyways, I got the Panthers going 7-9.
Oh,
The
man.
man can't hug your daughter if he won the game. I got the Panthers going 7-9, coming in 3rd place, and I got the Bucks. I think the Bucks actually would be a little bit better than they were last year. I think they'll finish at 7-9 too.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll finish at 7-9.
James gonna get his act together.
I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I just got a feeling that it's gonna be a little bit better. That's all.
They got a new coach, Bruce Arians.
But yeah, no, I got no. And the only team I got making playoffs is the Saints. That's it. That's all. But no faith in Julio Jones. No faith in Matt Ryan. Devontae Freeman can't stay healthy. That's gonna play a big deal. Like he has to stay healthy for them to be good. Like if you think the Falcons are gonna be good without Devontae Freeman, you're out of your mind. He has to stay healthy, and they don't have Tevin Coleman anymore either.
They sure don't.
So
Surely don't.
they're gonna have to find a way to give him some relief and to keep him healthy.
Well, next week, AFC NFC North. Bear down, baby.
Just so we know who you picking.
You goddamn right. I gotta look together though. Again, I gotta dissect it.
15-1.
14-1-1.
What you said?
14-1. Jesus Christ.
No. We'll cross that. Do like the free agent players do. Like, hey, we'll talk about that when the time comes.
Right, we know who you're picking.
That's the truth. They're gonna win the division.
We'll talk about it next week.
Let's go to baseball. Trade deadline.
Are you willing to bet on that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Packers.
We're gonna talk about it next week. I just want to know if he's willing to.
Kurt overrated. Cousins.
Baseball.
All right.
Baseball.
All right. And the Lions. Come on,
See what I'm
man.
saying?
Was it Hitchville? Will we listening to
I said
Motown?
we'll talk about that next week.
We talking about right now. Okay, now. Baseball. Trade deadline winners. I got mine.
We all got the same team.
Who you got?
I'm gonna try to go first.
Who you got?
My winners?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, of course, the obvious Houston Astros.
Do we need to go any further?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
I think the Cincinnati Reds are a winner because they have a solid 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
I don't know if they have enough hitting on their team to be able to win. I also think the Mets were a winner,
So they've been killing.
but being able to get Stroman. So now they have a
keep all their guys.
and they kept Syndergaard and they kept Wheeler, so they have a nice 4-man rotation. Now Robinson Cano did just tear his hamstring, so
Yeah.
but he ain't been having the best of years. And then
To your point with the Mets, because didn't you say they would make a run?
Yes, I
Dude,
did.
they were what, 6 games
they were
back?
6 games back at a wild card.
Dude, they're 2.
I told
They
you.
9-1.
I told y'all.
But see, this is what happened though. See, this is the kind of luck you need though. Them teams ahead of them,
They started losing.
5-5, 3-7, 5-5. I couldn't wait till I get this. We needed this
They started losing.
shit. 9-1.
But everybody needs a little luck when
You
when you're chasing a wild
definitely,
card.
need some luck.
Super fact.
You can't win and the other team wins either.
You
It
definitely
doesn't make any
Look,
it doesn't make
I
any
talked
sense.
about the Red Sox. The Red Sox done lost 8 in a row.
Yeah, they've been terrible.
You jinxed them. You a Yankees fan. You knew what you was doing. I ain't mad at that. You knew what you was doing. That's slick. Hey, that's slick. Hey,
They
look,
fell all the way to 5.5 back.
I respect it.
The Red Sox?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
2-8 in their last 10.
And then I'm going to also say,
Hold on before you say that. But I look real good. I said the Rays and the Indians would win the wild card. They 1-2 right now.
okay. Yeah.
Look real good right now.
You looking solid. I'm right behind you. I had opens in there in that jam.
I'm also going to say the Cubs.
Mm.
The Cubs got a couple relief pitchers and they got a bat. So,
Their relief pitching is awful.
awful.
They needed it.
They got a little cushion right now too.
Yeah, they
2 games up in the division.
They need that.
They had a big series versus
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
4 straight.
That's my winners.
The Astros. 5.
That's it.
The Astros.
Dude.
I mean, that's that. I had one team, like one team.
That's
on.
it?
Yes. Yes. Like I talked all last week about a team making a move to separate themselves from the rest of the teams, and when you add Zane Greinke on team, like that's what you do.
Dude.
Like you had already had 2 style pitchers.
3-headed monster.
Like now you're gonna go into the playoffs with 3-headed monster, and you already know what happens in the playoffs. You shorten your rotation. you shorten your rotation.
Jesus.
And then now you're facing one of those guys every other night. You're facing one of those guys every
Yeah,
night.
you definitely are.
Yeah, so it's tough, man. Like, and they made the move that everybody who was bunched up needed to make.
But you know what? I'm gonna give Houston kudos for being able to part ways with prospects. I don't know what this like over fantasization is with baseball, with not parting ways with prospects, like holding on to these prospects for forever, instead of letting them go to win now. Like I don't get it.
Well, I think it's just with baseball, it's just more about longevity, and it's more about filling seats. I mean, because you got to think some of these stadiums are so big that 5-10 years down the road, like you still gonna have to sell those seats, And if you're selling them already now, why would I let some of my guys go that are in my farm system who are gonna help fill those seats later on down the road instead of me trying to find pieces and go, because it's hard to. I mean, it's hard to find pieces in baseball.
But so I understand that point, right? But last week I was watching the MLB Network like crazy, right? And so a lot of the broadcasters were saying how they don't understand why teams are holding on to these prospects, right? And they were throwing out all the stats of like how many prospects have made it to the majors, how many prospects have made all-star games, how many prospects have like even just panned out, like had good careers, and the numbers are low, like the percentage is low. And they were saying like some of your teams that are competing right now, like the Cubs, the Brewers, and it was another team, their farm system is right the worst, but they're competing for the playoffs right now. So you have to, it's that double-edged sword, that catch-22, where you have to ask yourself, like, do I want to compete now and give myself the opportunity to win? Or if I'm going to sit back and wait and hope for this prospect to pan out to be what I think they're going to be, because then what happens if they don't pan out to be that? Like, and for me, I would, if I'm the Yankees, right, and they had the potential to get a Wheeler. Now, I wouldn't have did this because Wheeler is not a front of the rotation guy, right? He's not a number one pitcher. He's not a number two. He's probably a 3 or a 4, right? They were asking for Estevan Florial and the pitcher. I can't think of the Yankees pitcher, but they're like their top 2 rated prospects. So I know Zach Greinke was out of the conversation because he had a no trade clause and he already said he wasn't going to New York. But if I had the ability to get a Noah Syndergaard, and you telling me you want this outfielder and you want this pitching prospect and maybe and Clint Frazier, you can have him. You can have him. Clint Frazier is already in the minors. He's blocked. You got Brett Gardner. You got Aaron Hicks. You got Tauchman. That's right here. You got Giancarlo Stanton, who ain't even playing. He's injured right now. You still got Aaron Judge. Like you legit have, and you got Cameron Maybin. Like the Yankees have Cameron Maybin. You got 6 outfielders before you even get to Frazier or even the prospect. Like, so you got to think about that. Like they're about to re-sign Judge, I'm sure, to a long-term deal. They got Stanton for like another 7 years, right? Like, yeah, Brett Gardner might be gone, but you can re-sign Maybin or you can keep Tauchman, and then you just signed Aaron Hicks to a 7-year deal. So your outfield is kind of stacked right now. Right, and then even with pitching being your weakness, you're not calling this prospect up to pitch in the playoffs. Why not go get a Noah?
No, I agree. I mean, I guess it all depends on what you value and where your goals are as far as an organization. I agree with you though. When you look at some of the other sports, like you look at the basketballs and you look at like summer league teams, like a lot of the teams that are really good in the NBA, like summer league teams never win a game. They never win a game, never even competitive in the summer league. And then the teams that are looking to rebuild, their summer league teams are always really good.
They stack.
You know what I'm saying? So baseball is the same way.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the teams that are really good, farm systems is really down. And I think that also is because they've parted ways with some of their better guys. Like they had to be able to get to that level. And then some people would probably have just had enough. Like, all right, I parted with enough guys.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I need to keep some people here, something here that I can lean on just in case a guy goes down or anything happens. I need to just keep a guy in my wheelhouse in order to keep me afloat if something does happen. So
what's crazy? So think about this. 2 years ago, the Cubs traded away Gleyber Torres, and I can't think of who else, for Aroldis Chapman, right? They won the World Series that year. Aroldis Chapman was a rental. They gave away their best prospect, who is now with the Yankees, killing. but they forfeited that to win a championship.
Yeah.
Like they ain't won a championship in over 100 years, so it like paid off for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like even that same year, right? The Cleveland Indians, they trade away their best prospect, Clint Frazier, for Andrew Miller. Look who was in the World Series that year. So like sometimes you gotta pull that trick. Like it's like, do I want to compete now and win, or give myself the chance at winning? Because look at the Indians now. The Indians are still competing.
Yeah.
And Andrew Miller is nowhere. He's in St. Louis now, sticking it up.
I agree with you. There's always some points to it, but
Yeah.
I guess it just, like I said, it just depends on the team's goals, mindset. I'm sure they got things circled on their bulletin board, guys that they want to keep, guys that they are willing to get rid of. But I'm with you. Like, if you want to win now, it should be really easy to do in baseball.
Can't wait till the White Sox start winning now. Soon come.
We actually got some pretty good farm system guys, actually.
Soon come.
But we're one of those teams where we're working on, we're counting on our farm system guys
To be better.
when the time comes. And telling when that time is, but if it does come, it will be like, boom.
I thank God for the Cubs giving us Eloy.
I mean, but the Sox got, think about it. They got Abreu, they got Eloy,
Tim Anderson.
they got Moncada, and they got Tim Anderson.
Need pitching, bro.
Yeah.
They need pitching bad.
But that's the thing, like you're probably gonna have to part with, you don't necessarily need to part with your best players, but you might need to part ways with your best farm guys to get that pitcher.
Yep.
Because especially if you're not the market where you can attract pitching to come.
Yeah.
Right?
We had a pitcher before. He's in Boston.
Stinking it up.
Yeah,
He in Boston stinking it up.
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But Boston got him. But look at who they got. Like, look at who the White Sox got for him. You got Moncada.
Yeah.
Yep.
Moncada wasn't playing in Boston no time soon.
True.
So it was like, I got to give them my best pitcher to get their best player. Right? So the White Sox might need to do the reverse. Like, I might need to go get a good pitcher and give up some of my best farm system guys.
We're going to pray on that. Let's go talk time, baby. I'm going to say a couple of
Go
prayers.
talk.
Mm-hmm.
My turn?
Mm-hmm.
Mic over here, man. All right. Y'all ready?
State your name, the city you from.
Jared Bailey, Arville, Illinois, 63rd in Harlem,
Come on, man.
Melrose, stand up. All right. Sport is football.
Oh, here we go.
Men's football.
Thank you.
Ooh, bad.
All right.
This ain't the lingerie football league.
Mm-mm.
National Football League. All right. Player 1.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to think what stats do I really want to give out.
Walter Payton.
All right. 7-time All-Pro. 1-time Offensive Player of the Year. I'm only going to give out certain stats.
7-time All-Pro, 1-time Offensive Player of the Year.
2-time Offensive Player of the Year. 1-time Comeback Player of the Year. That's all I'm going to give for Player 1. No physical stats.
That's good. All physical comeback.
Player 2.
That's the key.
11-time Pro Bowl, 3-time All-Pro, 1-time Offensive Player of the Year. That's all.
Player 1 Asian piece.
Is it?
Nope.
That's all I have.
Can you read Player 1 stats again?
He didn't read no stats.
I mean, just say the.
14-time All-Pro. 14-time Pro Bowl, 7-time All-Pro, 2-time Offensive Player of the Year, 1-time Comeback Player of the Year.
offensive player of the year and comeback player of the year.
Yep.
He said all pro how many times?
All Pro 7 times. If I give out some of the actual stats.
Hold on.
Drew Brees.
No, Peyton
Drew
Manning.
Brees.
Player 1 is Peyton Manning.
Player 1 is Peyton Manning.
I knew that. Okay. Ray, you never get these. I don't know.
I got it last week.
No, you got
No,
I got
you
the
did
second
not.
one.
You got like super late.
Y'all said I wasn't gonna get it, but I got it.
Bro, Jared had it in like 5 seconds.
It's all right. Reed off player 2 again though.
11-time Pro Bowl, 3-time All Pro, 1-time Offensive Player of the Year.
I ain't gonna get this.
It's got to be a quarterback.
Yeah.
Give you one more stat.
Hold
you
on.
want one more?
No.
All right.
Just go back. Say that again.
11-time Pro Bowl, 3-time All Pro, 1-time Offensive Player of the Year.
11-time Pro Bowler.
Yep.
Nope, it's not him.
Quarterback, you comparing to Peyton Manning.
But you said 3-time All Pro.
Yep.
He ain't been in the league that long. It's not him.
You know what I mean? I just start saying names until he said, "Yep, that's it." Comparing to Peyton Manning.
I feel like I know who this is.
You want one more stat?
Nope.
Time to make me mad, man.
Hell no.
Marino.
Nope.
I'm just gonna start guessing, bro.
That was a good one. That was a good game.
Oh, you gotta just guess, bro.
That was
Favre.
No.
good.
The Hitman.
Hitman, Tommy Ernst.
Brett Favre.
Oh,
Brett the
Hitman.
Hitman Favre versus Peyton Manning.
Hey, look at that. You didn't get that one. Where you at? Yeah. See that? Put some respect on my guesses. Just start saying names, bro.
You probably did win the player of the year.
Dang.
I never knew that.
Man, got
95.
If you'd have gave up, if you'd have said MVP.
Big area.
Yeah, I wasn't saying none of the MVPs. Yeah, because Peyton got 5 of them.
Got
Brett
two
got
Super
3 of them.
Bowls.
So, all right, so I'll give her the rest of the stats away. So, Brett Favre is a Hall of Famer, 3-time MVP. He's got 71,838 yards passing, 508 touchdowns. He's got 1 Super Bowl championship. Hall of Famer. Peyton Manning's got 2 Super Bowl championships, 5-time MVP. He's got 71,940 yards passing, 539 touchdowns.
How many interceptions Brett Favre had? That's
He leads
336.
Yeah.
He
most
leads,
history.
That's
but
big.
Peyton Manning is right behind him.
It's tough. Knowing that man so quick. One of those Super Bowl painted man.
Brett Favre's got 336 interceptions. Peyton Manning's
251.
got 251.
That was 100 less.
I know I'm picking.
I know who I'm picking too, but I don't want to pick him.
I'm definitely a home picker.
I know you don't. But I think we have no choice.
Can I talk to the people?
Yeah, go
Go ahead.
Still thinking. Nah, Peyton Manning. Crazy that they think I'm finna pick a Green Bay Packer. That was easy.
Go ahead.
Picking a dude to wear 18.
You want me to scoot back a little bit?
What's his name?
The guy that wears
You
number
want me to
18.
scoot back a little bit?
What's his name?
Eli's brother.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm picking Eli's brother.
So the only reason I picked these two is because Manning literally has 60 yards more passing than the Hitman does. It's the only reason. Pass numbers was similar. Touchdowns was similar.
Talking about yardage.
yardage, touchdowns, or something.
Only reason I'm picking Eli's brother is because
Versus number 18, Eli's brother.
18, Eli's brother, I ain't gonna call him what his did.
DirecTV? Didn't he have a DirecTV?
Yeah.
Papa John's.
What Papa John's? What's the new one?
Oh,
Nationwide.
Nationwide.
The Nationwide guy.
That's on ESPN show too.
The Nationwide guy. Only reason I'm picking him is because he's highly regarded as like the brains of that offense. Like he ran the offense without a coordinator, which I think is grossly overstated, but okay.
I know we know who the hell you picking, unless you just coming up with a goddamn 180.
I'm going with the Hitman.
Get your ass out of here. You're lying like one.
Look to the people.
Well, we is a family friendly show.
Until now.
Going with Peyton Manning.
Hey,
Thank you.
All right, y'all. The Hitman was cold though. Hitman was cold.
He better than Aaron Rodgers?
Definitely.
I would take the Hitman over Aaron Rodgers.
Definitely.
I would take
I was
the
like a
Hitman.
real jab, like real quick.
Yeah, I would take the Hitman over Aaron Rodgers.
Definitely.
The Hitman was he was dangerous.
Brett was tough.
But I'd take Peyton Manning.
He wasn't durable. He was tough.
He was injured a lot.
He would. Who?
Right.
Yes, he was. He played injured a lot.
That's what I'm saying. He wasn't out the game. He was playing.
Yeah, but
What I'm saying, he missed a lot of games.
That's just tough.
I thought they was gonna win it that year he was in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I thought that was it. Oh man.
I wanted to think about the end of their career because the Nationwide guy, the end of his career was just, it was bad.
He won one though.
Yeah, his defense won one.
Yeah,
Cut it out.
absolutely.
His defense won one.
Still won one.
He was throwing air balls.
Come on, man.
He was throwing air balls.
Was he throwing them?
Oh my God.
Still won.
Boy, my daughter can throw better than him.
Sitting ducks.
Sitting. They float.
Still won one. However you want to call it. Still won one.
He wasn't throwing no dart. Did you see him the year before though? It's the Seahawks.
When they lost the Seahawks.
They got lost.
Yeah, well they couldn't
Getting their ass beat.
Lost.
they couldn't
Did y'all see? Have y'all ever seen?
protect the quarterback for nothing.
Have y'all ever seen Wes Walker's what's the NFL television show called? The Player Thing.
Nah, I didn't even know Wes Welker even had a show.
He did. So he had one. He was like at halftime. I thought we still had a chance to come back. I cut my TV off.
He definitely should.
Hey, they got that. Yeah, I remember that one.
So the year in Minnesota, they were 12-4. He had 4,200 yards passing, 300 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
300
He didn't have
touchdowns?
300 touchdowns.
33 touchdowns.
He had 300 touchdowns.
Sorry. 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
And the other thing, Brett was a high interception guy. Like, look at this. One year he had
The highest.
20 touchdowns and 29 interceptions.
He never seen him. Everybody's open.
He never seen a pass he didn't like.
Never.
You hear me?
He threw for 20 interceptions. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 6 times in his career. 20 plus.
Hey,
He didn't see a pass he did not like. You hear me?
Throwing the choice.
Complete opposite of Aaron Rodgers. You talking about
Complete
him
opposite.
throwing it away? He like, nah, bro.
Hey, if Brett gave his receivers a chance, you hear me?
Nah, bro. Go.
He gave him a chance. You hear me?
Jesus.
But he stayed in the 30s though with touchdowns.
Look, he gave him a chance.
That's what made him who he was. Taking the chances.
Gunslinger. We don't have him no more.
No,
They just even hire interception guys like Stafford.
No, Stafford just.
Hey, Jay Cutler.
Hey, boo.
He did.
Boo.
He was out there saying.
Hey, Jay Cutler.
He was like the modernized like
He was. The modern Brett Favre.
He
He
was
was.
like the modernized like Brett.
But he just didn't care. He was throwing away just on purpose. Brett was really.
You know what?
Brett
Jay
Lee got some
Cutler
passion.
really. Never mind. I'm not.
Wasn't that bad?
He really was.
For the money, it was the money,
Wasn't
bro.
that bad.
It was the money. It was the money.
No,
All the
he was
money.
only bad because he played for the.
No. I was saying he's the best quarterback the Bears have ever had in their history.
Okay, thank you.
Number one. He
Thank
gets like we have never had a
Thank you.
quarterback. He's the best quarterback in Bears history.
Thank you.
But it
And he
was the,
took y'all to the NFC Championship.
it was the amount of money he had got. Once he had got that money and got paid, he didn't live up to that money, and he didn't come close.
Well, I mean, he was the best quarterback y'all had. He had y'all in the NFC Championship game. He quit on y'all.
Yeah,
I give you that. He quit on y'all.
Quit.
Yeah, he did.
Quit.
Yeah.
But man, fuck Jay Cutler, man.
Dang.
Jesus.
That's how you feel?
Yeah, man.
He's the best quarterback y'all
I
had.
tried to defend him for the longest until he just stopped caring. Like he just what Charles Woodson say?
Hey, no.
Same old Jay.
No, what they say? Never cared.
Never cared. Never cared. Same old Jay. Throw it right to the defense.
Never cared.
Cutler gonna cut.
Follow us on social media, please. Before I say something else.
We gotta call Jay, man, have him on the show.
No, we don't.
Instagram, at Goodfellas Podcast. I spelled with a 3 instead of an E. Follow us on Twitter, at Goodfellas87. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube. And we on Apple Podcasts.
Subscribe, rate, review.
You wasn't ready. You
I
wasn't
wasn't.
ready. You wasn't
That was
ready.
bad.
You wasn't ready.
That
You
was
Jay
bad.
Cutler me.
Oh,
Oh, you Jay Cutler me.
Never cared, did I?
I need another one.
I
I'm
never
ready.
try, Ray. You don't have to
We
try.
on Apple Podcasts.
Subscribe, rate, and review.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Y'all was at the Big Three this
The
weekend.
big three.
Yes.
5 was living in the moment. I'm gonna let you know that.
Shout out to Will Bynum.
He was living in the moment.
Well, Bynum was dogging.
He
but-
got on Facebook after he seen the game winning and was living in the moment. Said Will Bynum was the 3rd best guard ever played in the city of Chicago. Ever.
Chicago or Chicagoland?
Chicago. I
Ever.
forgot about Tim Hardaway, so I will.
And you forgot
I will
about
say
Michael Finley.
that. Michael Finley's from East. He played at Rizzo East. He from the Burbs. He from the Burbs.
Technically.
He from the Burbs. He from the Burbs.
You had you had what's the name up there?
Who?
Isaiah Thomas. He ain't from
Yeah,
Chicago.
He lived out west though. He was dusty though.
I don't care where you talk about where they played or where they live.
Where he lived? Where you live?
Come on, man.
Where
You
you
can't.
live?
No, cut it out.
Where did you live?
Cut it out, man.
What's your zip code?
Cut it out, man.
What's your zip
Stop
code?
it.
What's your mail
I'm not
address?
even
City
letting you
What's
do
your
that.
mailing address?
I'm not even letting you
Dusty.
do
Come
that.
on, man. You saw Who Dreams, man. They went and got that man from out west every day.
That's
you
fine.
watch Who Dreams?
I'm not letting you do that. He played
Top
in the Burbs.
5 guard come out of Chicago.
Stop it.
Bynum?
Will Bynum.
I don't really agree with that.
Will Bynum.
He's a dog.
Top 5. Nick Anderson.
He was small. He was a small forward until he got to the league.
Bynum.
He was a small forward at U of I.
Sharon
Go
Collins.
back. Will was better than Sharon. I bet my money
Say
on
he
it.
down that hill right now.
I put my money on it. Will was better than Sharon.
Where was that? Okay.
He definitely the best guard come out of Crane. Come on, don't do that.
He might be the best guy.
Like Melo. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Be
Brandon
respectful.
Ewing was at Ravens'
Don't do that.
place.
Be respectful.
Brandon Ewing was at Ravens' place. I don't know if he getting y'all. Brandon Ewing.
Well.
Hey, y'all gonna show some respect to Buck though.
Buck did have
Y'all gonna show some respect.
That ain't got nothing to do
One
with
of the
that.
best 05. One of the best
Got nothing
05.
to do with that.
Buck definitely had
Hey,
game.
man.
Speaking of 05, I saw Jerry Pargo play at the TBT tournament on Friday.
You got Sharon over Pargo? Or Pargo didn't play in the city?
No, he from Luther Robertson.
I'm just saying. I mean, you moving. He might not have lived there. You know.
No, he definitely did. I got Pargo over Sharon.
Oh no, I mean Will. You got Pargo over Will.
No. Man, Will a different monster, man.
So
People-
you living in the
people
moment.
understand, like,
You
Will,
living in the moment.
People don't understand, Will is 36 doing this type of
You're
stuff.
living in the moment.
Like, can you imagine when Will was 26, 25, what he was doing? Like, you had to see him in Pro-Am, like, to understand what Will was doing. And he was a monster athlete, too. Like, not only was he the best ball handler you probably ever seen in Chicago, like, he was a monster athlete.
You living in the moment.
Definitely the best around my age group. And whether y'all want to put Tim in the mix, whether y'all want to put Isaiah in the mix, besides Rose, out of my age group, from anywhere from 2000 to whatever year you want to talk.
We only talking Chicago only.
Chicago only. No Wade.
So you got him over Rose?
No.
Of course not, man. I don't know.
His
Who
first-
was this?
Come on.
Yeah,
Who was
so
that?
he said Will was the 3rd best guard.
Who was
out
your
of
other
Zeke.
two?
He said Zeke and
Rose.
Rose.
Zeke and Rose, but then I forgot about Tim Hardaway. Well, I forgot.
And you
I'm
forgot
not-
about Nick Anderson.
I'm not gonna disrespect Tim Hardaway.
And
like
you
that.
forgot about Nick Anderson.
Nick Anderson played the small forward at U of I. He didn't play the 2 guard.
Michael Finley?
Michael Finley, what the East? He got the East. That's like that. That's like saying Doc Rivers. Like I could say Doc Rivers. People could say Doc Rivers too.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
He went to East too. He went to Brazos East. That's Maywood. That's the Birds.
Yeah, Nitro.
I'm not buying it.
Pretty rough for Inglewood.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not buying it.
I mean that's.
Okay.
I could put Wade in it then. Like if I'm gonna put them in, I could put Wade in. And Cal Park and Oklahoma right there too.
No.
Okay. It's your list, bro.
And Robbins, come on now.
It's your list.
As dusty as Robbins is, it could be the city.
Oh my God.
Ain't no sidewalks, but be respectful.
You gotta stop coming at
Be
me.
respectful.
You gotta come
though.
on.
Be respectful.
Come
Be respectful.
Ray lived in Robbins.
I ain't live there, but my dad from there, so I, just be respectful. But it ain't no sidewalks.
Yeah, your dad will tell you it was dusty too.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no sidewalks.
Last time your dad been back to Robbins.
Just is
Been that
Yes,
curve.
Yeah. Parade coming up too.
How long was he there for?
I mean, you gotta get in and get out.
You gotta get
But
it.
the parade is coming.
Oh, Robbins Parade is coming.
It is coming. And
Sorry, I ain't mean to call your stuff dusty because I might be there.
Hey man, I'm not walking close to you.
Sorry.
Okay, wait. Oh yeah, I'm tagging everybody. Yeah, parade coming up. Joe Johnson, that's bro.
We didn't see him.
I know, but still, I just wanted to mention.
didn't see him.
He been the highlight of the big three.
We didn't see
really
it.
don't care, right?
We didn't see him.
He
He
been the
didn't play. He
highlight
didn't play in Chicago.
Yeah,
so
we didn't
don't
see
care.
him.
of the big three. Sunday, the man down 48-46, and the man hit a step back 4-pointer.
We didn't see him.
Beast. ISO Joe. Y'all got some shout outs?
Man, shout out, man. I watched a lot of basketball. I went to the TVT Friday. TVC was awesome. They got some great players in that tournament. Championship game is tomorrow at the Wintrust.
And who's in the championship game?
Carmen's Elite, which is the Ohio State Buckeyes alumni team, and the Golden Eagles, which is the Marquette alumni team. I will be there.
Who you pulling
I am
for?
going. Oh, it's tough.
Going for the Eagles.
You got ET coaching the Carmen's team. Got Reese.
Reese and Real.
Reese representing that 05 for the Eagles.
And don't forget about Jarrell.
Real too.
Jarrell didn't play last game. He got hurt 2 games ago. And
I'm
he
saying he
gonna
gonna
play
fight
first
him.
game. He on the team.
Yeah, spirit.
He gonna get some of the money. But,
That don't hurt.
give me. I'm a say Carmen's Elite's going in. I'm say Ohio State gonna win. They got
I'm
Dimitri-
going with Reese and Jarrell.
They got Dimitri on the team too.
On what team?
Should be a good game.
On
though.
Carmen's Elite. Yeah, you know
He
they.
didn't go to Ohio State.
Come on now, you know they've been recruiting, man. Come on, man. They got Jamel Wilson. They got Jamel Wilson on the Eagles team.
Where the
He
hell
played in the
did he
league
go?
2 years ago.
Where did he go?
It was damn sure wasn't Marquette. Tell you that.
Nothing wrong with that.
But no, it's gonna be a good game. Then we saw the Big Three on Saturday. Big up to Ice Cube. On the Big Three. It's a dope setting. It's real intimate. Everybody's close enough to see the game. I felt like Chicago was one of the best crowds that I've seen. I mean, I watched the game on Sunday when Joe Johnson hit the 4-point play, and like nobody was even standing up. Like on the last play of the game, everybody in Chicago
Was standing up.
Everybody.
Everybody.
When Will had, I mean, for like 6 straight possessions.
And we wanted Will to shoot it.
Everybody wanted Will to shoot it. Josh Will shot one of the balls. We were
And
ready to boo his ass off
we
the
was
damn
ready to
Story of his career.
But we was ready to get his ass up out of here.
And Will Bynum said he hadn't been back for people to see like how his game has progressed over the last few years. So he said that was
Yeah.
like,
No pro-am.
He did the same move all game. He did the same. He did the same move.
Hey, he
all
nice
game.
though. Hey, he nice.
He was hitting though.
And then we got we got the All-Star game that they're having next Saturday. That couple of our boys is DJing. Q and High Rod.
High Rod actually playing.
Yeah, it's a High Rod playing.
my cousin Alan said he's playing too.
He gonna get you a ticket.
Nah, but all the jury be out. You know, he be just saying stuff. But he did say he was playing in the game, so we'll see. And he said he was gonna get a dunk in. So hey, he got bad knees. He ain't young like he used to be.
Where is that game at?
Wintrust.
It says back at the Wintrust. So
Yeah.
So if y'all get a chance, check that out. That's gonna be a real big event going on next Saturday. But no, that's all I got, man. I watched a lot of basketball this weekend, so I'm satisfied.
All right, Boof, what you got?
Man, it is.
Oh, first. You got any shout outs?
Nah, not this week. Coming up.
Got you.
I ain't got nothing.
Dang, I'm the only person with shout
I
out.
don't have nothing, man.
Jesus.
I don't have nothing.
Oh, wait. It's not a shout out.
What is this?
Shout out Jamar for ordering that medium well steak.
What?
If y'all go to a steakhouse with me and y'all order a steak medium well done, I will talk
How
about it.
you think they was bringing a steak out when we was at Zed?
Zed 451.
It was medium well.
Yeah, that's
That,
all I
that
want.
must have been y'all, because I got mine's medium.
They brought us. We eating medium well. I was right next to you. You did nothing.
We told their ass go back to the
I
back.
didn't
and
even
bring
know
us
y'all
medium
didn't
well.
know
Medium well.
Y'all be
Medium
ashamed.
well.
Y'all don't even understand.
What do you mean? It's still
Hey,
in there.
no, it's not.
Yes, it is. If it's not, that means it's well done.
Y'all
We-
just
we
dry.
That means it's well done.
Dry.
We're not eating the pink people's meat, okay?
You done ate something worse than that, okay? And it's bigger than that. Now,
Hey,
all right.
crossing
Hey,
into a
That
different
pink
line.
will make you wink. Pink will make you wink. Now, hey.
Come on, let's hear this. Hey.
Stop eating that.
All right, y'all. Hey, we gonna be back next week before we not back at all. Come on, man. No disrespect to medium well.
No, y'all disrespectful to the steak, man.
How?
Medium well.
Donald Trump eat medium steaks. So
It's
on that
okay.
note, hey, we will be back next week.
Make
All
America
right.
great.
Yeah. Hey,
You need to.
love, live life. Jesus. Did you?